Okay.
We're live. We're recording. Let me grab my notes, because,
Yep.
as always, I can't do anything without my notes. Hello, my friends.
Mm.
Welcome back. I don't even know what I'm going to say. I have my notes, and I've still got it screwed up because I don't have the right windows open in the right spots. I'm Omar Krieg,
Okay.
Lord and Commander of the Krieg Dominion, and your host for this, the 39th episode of Along the Frontier, an Alien RPG campaign. This session is entitled Glasnost, which is a Russian word and an idea from the 80s and 90s called openness. With me, as always, are my wonderful players, Rodance, Luke, and Kane. Let's take a moment, check in with them, see what's new and exciting for them, see if they have any stories from their lives involving Mother Russia or the Soviet Union. If they don't, then they can just tell us what's new and exciting for them. That's fine. Meanwhile, I'll just be over here, sharing with my horde of children all my fond memories of the Cold War. Where were you when the wall fell? Rodance?
One, I wasn't born yet. And two, you're lucky I know that reference, bro.
What's reference?
Okay,
I dropped like 2 or 3.
So I've discovered that this week and a half, I picked up a new game.
Yes.
In a week and a half, I have 60 hours in this game, have worked standard work weeks, and have read more than 400 chapters of one manga in like 4 days, and then probably another 200 or 300 a couple days before that. So I'm trying to figure out how I've been sleeping.
I was going to say, and I
'Cause I'm
mean this
not
as
sure I
strictly
have
as a
been.
joke. I mean this strictly as a joke. Meth is a wonderful drug.
I mean, like,
I love
they
how
put
Luke
meth
is
in
like,
my
yep, no,
meds,
that checks
so
out.
I don't take any controlled substances, so I can't have meth in my meds.
Listen, I
Because
just
there
meant
actually
it
are
as a
several that are
joke.
basically meth.
Right. Yeah, I literally meant it only as a joke. I know better.
I question my sanity.
If it makes you feel any better, there are others that do as well.
I can repeat the same action that disturbed my last GM too, if you would like.
I'm sorry, what? I didn't catch.
I can repeat the same action that I used to disturb my last GM too, if you would like.
Sure. We should know that I'm not easily disturbed. So.
No.
Well, actually, I am.
This is a situation that happened probably 3 months ago in my Morning Tuesday game. My character has family. They are still alive. They are present as NPCs. It is apparently very disturbing to that poor DM when I referred to him as Yes Daddy. Well, I mean, he was at the time speaking as my character's dad, so that was technically the correct response.
Yeah. No, that
and I haven't done it to him since because he asked nicely.
So, please don't call me daddy ever again.
Exactly. That's basically what he said.
All right, I know you're in the middle of your end of day report BS stuff, so let's move on to Luke and see what's new exciting for our Canadian friend. I don't know why I singled you out as being Canadian. I'm sorry.
I mean, I don't deny that.
I mean, it'd be kind of rude if you did.
Yeah, it's pretty much my identity. No.
I mean, all we're missing is
so
red and white flags and maple syrup everywhere.
I do have maple syrup.
Oh, there you go.
I was eating Eggos actually just a couple minutes ago, and Eggos with maple syrup, just delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Point being, so news for me, my town had a bomb scare. Apparently some guy tried to blow up downtown, and as Machiavellian or James Bond villainy as he could do it, and he was caught pretty much immediately, so that was fine.
No, you know what's the best part is you told us before we started what had happened, right? And it didn't even click in my head until just now when you said James Bond villain style. I'm just like, no, that actually tracks 1,000%, and I'm actually here for that. Except for the part where so many people could have been fucked up from it.
Oh, and as a side note, the reason why you probably don't have Ninja Turtle style sewer drains like New York does is New York is a fucking island, bro.
Truth. Actually,
New York City is a collection of islands, basically.
I was gonna say, I think it's a collection of islands to be more accurate, but regardless.
At least it's not Venice.
Yeah, so yeah, that's just piles of wood on top of piles
water.
Of wood to have buildings on top of.
And it's not that new city in Dubai.
Oh yeah.
Is that the square one?
No, the one by
What is the
Saudi Arabia.
line?
They basically just made a bunch of fake islands and plopped a city on it.
Yeah, it's like all like circles and stuff. It's great.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, geography, man.
Yeah, geometry.
Other than that, yeah. Other than that, not too much. Hemo was canceled today because of that.
Yeah,
So out of
yeah.
the 30 people that could have been affected by that, there you go.
Out of the millions that it could have been, some of us carry swords as a hobby.
No, like we're not a very populated town.
No, I didn't know what number to use, but I figured the joke was still good either way.
Millions, jeez, we
Okay,
what is
clearly
our
we're not
population like?
Toronto.
God no. I think our population just passed like 150,000, and that's in like the region, not like
Yeah.
even just
Yeah, the city is much less than that, I'm sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let me go look up how many people are in my current city, because I'm in some little sub-city of a bigger city.
Okay.
Everybody starts, and Kane's like, I wonder too.
Yeah, we were gonna do some census work
Yeah.
now.
Okay, so the town I grew up in,
Okay.
according to the 2020 census, the main part of the town and the region around it is a population of 2,192.
Wow.
See, that tracks because of how like the spread out like work of like the United States, but like in Canada we just like cram in like little spots.
Well, yeah, because everything else is basically polar bears.
Basically, yeah. It's,
There's the
polar
town
bears,
posted a whole fucking
meese.
thing for this.
geese.
Yeah,
so,
Canadian geese.
Yeah.
I am in about a 50,000 person city, and we are a satellite city to about a 1 million person city, which is basically one of the largest cities in the Southeast. The only larger one is Atlanta, Georgia, for obvious
Nice.
reasons.
Are you?
At least we
you're-
haven't melted any of
oh,
our
you're-
bridges on the freeways.
Oh,
I think I know where you are. Not specifically where you are, but like you're Charleston, right?
No,
No. What else? Is that?
Charlotte.
Charlotte. Yeah, the other
It's
Carolina.
another C name.
The other
Mm.
Carolina.
Well, they named them all after like kings and queens, so
Yeah,
it's kind of
yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
That's
Kane.
That's like a whole 100-person boom in the last 20 years.
It's all, and they're all kids and grandkids. Net. That's what it is.
There's they advertise
good
proudly. They advertise proudly that, you know, throughout the portion of the county that they count as satellite to them, there's 924 domiciles. 784 of those are houses.
oh,
And there is 7.86 miles of class 2 road.
I don't want class 2. I want class 1. Give me the first class.
There are no class 1 roads.
I don't even know what the difference would be.
I mean,
Class
I
1 is a
hope-
highway.
Okay.
Yeah.
There is no highway. You
Yeah.
have to drive to another town to get to the on ramps to the
There you
highway
go.
that runs the
yeah.
the
So
highway
it's
state.
it's a whole like
Oh, shit.
yeah.
You drive to the next town over. You go to Brattleboro in order to be able to get access to the highway if you want to go to Canada.
Gotcha.
Hmm.
Or if you want to go to Massachusetts, there's a lot of different ways to cross that border.
All right. Well, Kane, it's your turn. What do you got for us? What's new and exciting? Where were you when the walls came down?
I was in Connecticut,
How old were you?
2 months old.
Luke, how old were you? I don't remember what year specifically. I want to say it was like 89 or 90. When
It
the
was
wall-
89.
Yeah.
The wall fell
89.
in November 89.
That checks
November 89.
out.
Hey, guess what? We're the same age almost.
Yeah. I was in, I'm going to say, let me see.
Omar,
89? I was-
Omar was a specialist.
No, I wasn't in the army yet. I was in middle school, so I want to say it was like in 6th, 7th, 8th grade, something like that. I don't remember. I'd have to go back and do some math and counting and stuff. But
Okay, if we're gonna pick a more modern one, where were you in 9/11?
I was living south of Detroit. I was on the side of the road because my first ex-wife was puking when the first
I
plane
was in
hit.
my 5th grade classroom.
Yeah,
We
I was-
watched it on TV.
And I was on my way to work as a United States Army recruiter. And my ex-wife was
Boy.
with me because she was taking the car.
What a
after
time
she's
to
been-
be! What a time to be a recruiter.
Oh, let me tell you something. By October, November, that's how I ended up with my gold badge.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Shattered goals.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't really remember where I was when 9/11 happened, because I think we got the news like a couple hours later, and honestly, like it was just like really bad stuff is happening, and I'm just young, and I was like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kane, what's new and exciting for you though? Before we get too much down this
I
memory road.
was in school and I got sent home to watch the second tower in my living room.
Oh.
And we didn't know why we got sent home. Just that
We did.
Dad
Yeah,
put
you
me
didn't
down on the
understand.
couch.
Yeah.
Well, nobody told us.
Oh.
They
Okay.
were just like, "Hey, everybody, you're going home." We're like, "Hell yeah, we get out of school early."
Yeah.
And then go home, and Dad was like, "Just sit on the couch."
Why is
and,
why? Yeah, you're like, why is nobody excited that we got to go home early?
and then Dad just was like, "Sit on the couch. You're smart enough to figure this out. Just watch the news." And we watched the news together for the rest of the day and just had conversations about everything that was going on.
Oh.
That was a crazy, wild time. You got any cool stories for us though, other than memorabilia, something or other?
I apparently figured out what's going on with my persistent cough and changing levels of puberty voice.
Okay, I'm curious.
I have an infection in one of my lungs.
Oh.
That's nasty. Not,
It is.
not to be clear. I'm talking about the infection is a nasty thing, not you.
I mean, given what I do when I'm off camera in order to try to like manage these symptoms, I'm
Yeah.
also gross.
I can only imagine. I don't want to imagine.
So now I'm on like 3 different fucking prescriptions, and they gave me a shot in the ass.
Oh wow. So it's a serious
That sounds like
infection.
It's a
penicillin,
serious
moxicillin.
infection.
Yeah, that sounds
Yeah,
like
and
one
they
of
don't-
those cillins.
And I get, for on the more amusing side and the less gross side, I'm in the urgent care, and the lady's like, "Hey, to start this off, we need to shock your system. We're going to give you an injection level dose, and then you're going to take a bunch of pills afterwards to maintain it for the cycle." And I was like, "That's
Mhm.
fine." And she was like, "This is going to be a very painful shot." And I was like, "Sure." I don't want to say anything and have her construe this as anything weird, so I'm just not going to say anything. But in the back of my head, I'm like, I remember immunization day. This is going to be nothing. She stuck me and was like, "Are you okay? Did that hurt?" And I was like, "You did? I didn't even notice, but okay." And then I like rubbed my butt on something like 10 minutes later, and it was all good.
You rubbed. What did you do? Turn into part cat? You rubbed your butt on
Yeah,
something.
basically.
I want attention. Play with me.
I picked a door frame to rub myself on while I was talking to the receptionist.
All right,
That's the best way to get rid of that stupid itchy spot right in the middle of your back, like a
Oh
little
my
bit below the
God.
middle of your shoulder blades.
and
Just freaking doorways, man. It's the only way to hit it properly. I mean,
thankfully,
I can reach it and scratch it with my hands because I have the flexibility in my shoulders, but it doesn't work the same. This doorway is still better.
Oh, much better.
Absolutely.
And I love the fact that as I'm working, I have my truck, and so I'll get this itch because I'm hot, I'm a little sweaty, maybe I'm frustrated, and I've got this itch, and I'm just like bear rubbing like a bear on a tree, just in the doorway between the cab of the truck and the cargo section, and just like, oh my God, okay, all right, I gotta go deliver this box.
But like the receptionist even was like, "Are you feeling okay after that shot?" In the back of my mind, I'm just remembering us all in formation, sitting on the floor, cross-legged, rocking back and forth to break up the immunization in your ass. Do you remember that?
We didn't do that. What we did was they gave us the peanut butter tube, and they said, "Need this." And so we're all just sitting there like this with it, just like trying to, warm it up and soften it up, break it up before they, put the needles on it and stuck it in your ass. After that, we were just like, I think we went pretty much from there to like getting our uniforms.
We went down the row, got every single shot in one sitting, and then sat down in columns in our formation. And our element leaders did cadence for us to rock back and forth to try to break it up so that you wouldn't have a giant mass of medication like fucking up your ass muscle and making it hard to march out of the building.
That's amazing. That's amazing. All right, let's play some Alien RPG. Previously on Along the Frontier, in the black of space, we see the Kremlin-class UPP Hunter-Destroyer Fulski Prolov, and the camera swings down under the vessel and then up through the hangar deck. The camera continues floating onward, providing a collage of shots of a fierce firefight between Marines and Blackguard. Men and women on both sides of this strange conflict being wounded or even killed. Vac-suited Marines drop their vac suits and press onward into the ship's interior, intent on hunting down the Blackguard, attempting to seize this ship, watchful of the UPP crew that is still trying to hold out. We have made it to the second deck, Deck D. My notes indicate that somebody is trying to Snake Plissken his way through.
I got my rulebook open.
All right, so I am going to switch the stream view over to Foundry so you can see all the things. Hopefully I don't give away too many spoilers or anything for the viewers. But we haven't rolled initiative. I don't remember if I was gonna roll initiative right away or not. But we have a brief moment.
I succeeded in my sneaky sneak.
Yes.
So I get a free action before rolling initiative to ambush these guys.
Okay, well, currently they're like 100 meters down the hallway from you.
Yep.
But let's go ahead and scoot them forward. Excuse me. Let's go ahead and scoot them forward.
So my plan is to wait an ambush and then pull myself out of here and try to grab the guy in the back.
You know what? I'm just gonna do this. You know there is a 4-man team. Well, let me rephrase that. You know there are. Let me back up even further before I forget. I want to give credit where credit is due. These maps that we're using for the Kremlin class Hunter Destroyer UPP ship have been produced by deviantart.com/Arthur Dallas. We have been using this individual's maps, and thank you to this person for putting these beautiful maps together for us to run around and shoot things on. That said,
and get shot a lot.
And get shot back. Yes, of course. I was going to say something else, and I totally spaced it. You know that there were 6 4-man teams, or 24 Blackguard in total, based on the carrying capacity of those 2 drop ships on the hangar deck. Presumably, one team is on this deck. These 2 individuals that you see right now have come out of the engine's maintenance room at the end of the hallway, having just secured it. In fact, you could probably, the door, I feel like the door probably automatically closed behind them, but maybe as it closed, you might have been able to glimpse past the 2 Blackguards into the room and see a dead UPP crewman inside. That said, these 2 appear to be coming up into the junction right now. What exactly they're about to do, you're not sure. If you're going to act, this would be the time to act.
So I'm in the stairwell, so I'm like holding on to a rung just below the top so I can lower myself and listen to their boots.
Yep.
And I'm waiting for them to pass, and I'm going to quietly pull myself up. And I'm going to try to grab the guy at the back and see if I can just silently kill him and see if I can maintain the stealth.
Unfortunately, I don't know if your plan's going to work, because it looks like they're actually coming up to the ladder and about ready to go up a level. So they're about to run into you. So you have a moment where you can act and take out the first one. And I know this is kind of disturbing your Snake Plissken rule of cool moment here. But you do have the opportunity to maybe reach down, grab his head, and just snap his neck before anybody's like, what the fuck was that?
Let's reach upwards, right?
Well, okay, in my head, I've got Pike being above this individual. Am I misunderstanding what you're...
I'm not really sure which...
I'm below.
Okay. We're on E deck, and then we went to D deck, unless you're not in order of...
Yeah, so... Okay, let me think about this for a second. So, Pike, you're in the ladder well. You are just below D deck, is that correct?
Yeah.
And then the other 4 are still on E deck.
Correct.
Okay.
So, if they're going to be coming up the ladder, then...
You could still grab the second one.
Yeah.
As they
can go under.
Up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can still
try to grab the second one while he's mounting the ladder and see if I can quietly kill him and then climb up and grab the other guy and drag him down.
Okay. Go ahead and make your initial attack roll or whatever roll you're about to do here. I believe it's going to be like a grapple or something.
It's going to be an ambush attack, and I will be doing it unarmed because I want to try to get enough successes in one go to say that like I cover his mouth and
Yep. Yeah. I got you.
use my strength to make sure that he doesn't like clatter against the ladder.
Yep.
And because he's unaware, he doesn't get to block.
Is there a passive perception sort of thing in this? I don't know. I don't think there is, but I know some game.
I think there's obvious perception, but
Well, you already rolled counter
we already-
perception. Like you
yeah.
get an active roll, you don't get a passive one. You don't get just typically.
No. Because I was here. This is my thought process, right? So you're gonna grab this guy. In theory, you're gonna snap his neck and do something with him. I was wondering if there was like some sort of passive perception sort of deal where once that is complete, the second guy is like, "What'd you just do to my buddy?" Sort of option.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
There's nothing in the rules about it. But
Okay.
But my idea, if you're game, is if I succeed in killing the first guy in one shot, then I make a new mobility versus observation.
That definitely would make sense because you'd have to still, like at the
'Cause
very
if I
least, you got to
fail-
close the distance between you and the second guy as well.
Because if I fail to kill the first guy in one shot, I don't have to make the roll because he's
Yeah.
going to make sure his buddy knows he's getting
Yeah,
ganked.
he's like ah. Weird feelings. All right. So
All right,
you
here
have
we
an
go.
unarmed combat roll, I believe it is.
I'm going to make my unarmed combat. Got to one-shot this guy to have a chance.
Yeah. And then do I get any option as far as my defense for this individual?
He's unaware,
No.
so he
Yes,
doesn't get to
That's
block.
what I thought. That's what I thought. What a way to go.
His
man.
armor.
Yeah.
Try not to fail on his armor roll. I'm assuming you're rolling like 50 dice. Oh, you're also rolling hidden, so I can't even get to see your 50 dice.
My bad.
I saw it.
Well, that's because you're a
that was a
GM.
metric fuck ton of dice. That was
Hmm.
that second roll was 2 less than your
Alright.
first roll.
I have 6 total successes right now.
Yes, I
And
want
we
to
all
point out.
know-
I want to point out. Oh, never mind. I'm stupid.
Oh,
You wouldn't re-roll the
yeah.
dice you succeeded on. I am so stupid.
Correct.
Yeah.
Now,
Okay. Go ahead.
so here we come to the next question.
Okay.
Because of what I'm doing, and because this is sort of like a coup de grace that I'm trying to just deal damage with, he can't maneuver to use his armor.
Right.
Is he in a spacesuit or is he in combat armor?
He's in his regular gear. He's not in a vac suit. So he's in his Blackguard gear.
Would his armor really apply if he's totally unaware and I'm just going for a coup de grace, basically?
This is
just
what I'm
going for
picturing.
the-
So this is
like
what
trying to grab him around the neck, choke him off, and break his neck quietly.
Yeah, so this is what I'm picturing in my head. Is that these guys start going up the ladders, you jackrabbit your way up, grab this dude, get a rear naked choke on him, and then like snap his neck before he even has a chance to like grunt a single sound. You're holding his body so he doesn't drop, and somehow got yourself like perched and braced inside the elevator, or I'm sorry, inside the ladder well.
The ladder.
I'm totally fine with 6 successes and that many damn dice. Like,
yeah,
it's obvious.
We're going for 6 damage and a grapple so that I keep control of the body.
Okay, so if you want to use the damage, let me double check this. 6 damage is enough to kill him.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So I'll make a new mobility roll to try to see if I can maintain having done this quietly.
Yep.
You know, we've just lived long enough to see Pike become the xenomorph.
You either die a hero or you live long enough to become the Xeno.
He starts to go feral, like licks one of the rung of the ladders and then scuttles off with the body. So you can leave some slime behind, right?
Yep, exactly. What a gruesome image. All right.
Let me roll my mobility.
Yep, because he's going to get his awareness. Uh-oh.
And I will push.
Of course you will. I mean, that panic roll.
It's a little stressful.
Yeah, that panic roll. Oh, yeah, you're
good.
good. You're so good. Okay, I have to beat 4 successes. This is going to be interesting. Observation, where are you? Never mind. I don't even have enough dice to get 4 successes to negate it. You have the drop on this guy, except for Well, no, you know what? I'm just gonna fucking GM wave it. You can now make another attack roll on this guy. He does not seem to. No, we gotta do at least some sort of initiative at this point. Because in order to get to him, you've got to do something with the other guy's body, which is going to at least give him a split-second realization of what's about to happen, even if he doesn't have enough time to respond based on the fact he failed.
So here's my thought.
Yeah.
Here's Pike's
Drop the
plan.
body.
Pike's got a dragging strap, right?
Okay.
So he's gonna have like around his waist, he's got a strap with a carabiner on it so he can clip onto someone's armor to try to help like pull people.
Yeah.
So he's going to quietly unwrap it from his waist, wrap it around a rung of the ladder, flip it to this dead guy, and slowly lower his weight onto it. And then he's just going to climb up the ladder because the guy's expecting to hear boots behind him.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. So yeah, he's totally unaware that you're right behind him. So I guess with that and the fact that you got 4 successes to my 1, go ahead and do another unarmed combat roll and see if you can snap this guy's neck without anybody knowing anything.
Well, I'd like to give myself a +1 modification to a later roll related to this one, which will be my kill people roll.
Your kill people roll. Amazing.
I'd also like to take the extra option to impress somebody, like maybe like somebody just like peeks their head up the ladder to see what's going on and just sees me.
I was gonna say, yeah, maybe Watcher or somebody else from down below is like, they just have to be like, what's going on up there? Oh my god, he just snapped his neck and dropped him like a sack of potatoes.
Oh, it's gotta be one of the PCs.
Oh yeah, of course. Well, Watcher is a PC.
I suppose technically he is. You want to just have me have another conversation with myself, huh?
Absolutely. Holy sweet Jesus.
God.
That is 6 without even pushing. And now you're just doing it to be an ass to me.
I've got 13
I think
successes.
you like, okay, you could legitimately argue that you just removed this dude's head from his body if you want.
Like he just like
you just managed. You know how you remember the old school paratrooper helmet?
Because he's so strong, he wraps one leg around the back of the ladder when he catches up, reaches up with his long arms, grabs around his neck, pulls him back, slaps the rifle so it's out of his hands and dangling, and I just keep torquing back as things keep snapping, and eventually I tear his head off.
Yeah. However, while that's going on, the other two. Here, let me do this. That.
And now we have a body dangling in the stairwell where it's hidden, or in the ladder well where it's hidden until somebody comes into the ladder well, and I'm hanging onto the other body that I just killed.
Well, the other 2 of this 4-man team have just appeared in the ladder well, because prior to them entering the ladder well, they had indicated that the team was moving up, so these guys were moving to the ladder. They entered the ladder well, look up, because they're like, well, let's go up to the next level, and there's a dead body hanging in front of them. So now you've got bullets coming at you. Now we have to roll initiative.
Yeah.
And this, I'm going to roll...
It's probably going to be everybody, because...
I was going to say, I'm going to roll everybody's initiative. And then for the individuals that are down below, you're going to have to move up a level before you can interact. Now, I believe Warren and at least one other person, I never remember which one, you guys get a chance to re-roll.
I do.
Yes.
Mike is at 6.
I will take a 6.
There's literally a button to do reroll initiative, and I found it last time.
And now you can't remember it?
Somewheres.
Oops.
I have no idea. This is a button that you have temporarily found that I never knew existed.
Yeah.
No, there's a button for it, but I won't worry about it.
You just re-roll a 1d10.
Yeah, I'll just re-roll it and look for it again.
8. I'm assuming you're going to stay with that 6?
Yeah.
Okay. Between Warren and Pike, I forget what the tiebreaker is, so...
Agility.
Is it agility? Okay, so who's got the faster, higher agility?
I think we have the same agility. I think we're both agility 5.
Okay, who is older?
Who's older?
Whose name is alphabetically? Like, I'm thinking like old school army generating seniority here.
I think if agility is tied, then there's another thing to try to tie, and then it's just another roll up. Let's see who's He takes the faster position, but I don't remember the tiebreaker.
You know what? Why don't you guys both just re-roll 1d10? Whoever gets higher, we'll go first.
Well, I just re-rolled it already.
Well,
so
no,
it's an 8.
Well, he re-rolled as well.
Well, remember,
Oh.
this third reroll is not going to adjust your numbers, just to see which one of us gets higher.
Yeah, one of you is going to be 6.1. Oh my god! Come on, guys.
Guys, stop
Alright.
rolling sixes.
3, beat that.
I did. I beat
Oh,
it.
beat
I
it.
got a 2.
All right, Warren, you get 6.1, or no, you get Warren is 5.9. That will put him first.
All right, where was
Alright.
that?
Yeah. So actually, you are indeed getting shot by the way this freaking map is set up is not very good, but you get the idea.
I want to make some arguments.
Okay, you've got it. You were making some arguments. What do you got?
First, I think I should get concealment because there's a dead person hanging off a carabiner blocking part of this ladder well that he's got to try to see around to hit me.
Okay. All right. I will reduce. I will give him a -1 modifier.
Cover. On that
I'm
page
pretty sure the body
96.
doesn't really count as a defense against him seeing you because he's seeing the situation.
Well, my argument will be that the body is an obstruction for getting bullets from his rifle into Pike's fat ass.
All right, so cover.
Okay.
Way cover works. Blah, 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 blah. Taking cover behind something in the same zone as you is a fast action. The guy's dangling below me. I'm also carrying a human shield, so cover has an armor rating and works just like armor. When you're hit by a ranged attack, roll the base dice equal to the armor rating. Each success of your cover lowers the damage penetrating it by 1 point.
Okay, so I roll as normal. You just get a +1 to your armor, or one additional
so
die. Is that what I'm hearing?
I get an amount of armor dice based on the armor value of my cover.
Fuck me. Theoretically, that means you get his armor as well.
I have 2 sets of body armor between me and him.
I mean, I can't argue that's literally what the rules say. So let me see. What is his armor? So when you roll armor, you're gonna add 6 to whatever you got.
Is 6 for the first guy's armor and 6 for the second guy's armor?
No, you're not gonna get both of them. That's like 18 armor that I'd have to put bullets through. Come on, man.
Your armor piercing.
Yeah.
It's not going to be 18.
Okay, 9. It's still no.
What
That's
about half?
the same as shooting through an armored bulkhead.
Okay, so here's what I will argue. You definitely get the one that's hanging because that's the one that's definitely obstructing line of sight, etc. The guy that you are currently carrying and still trying to figure out what to do with the body as these bullets come at you is a different animal, though.
Okay, so 6 extra dice.
Yes.
All right, let's see this roll.
And I'm the NPC, so I don't get to push.
Correct.
Unfortunate for me. But that is
I would
3 successes, so...
I would really like to hustle for my tower shield, but it's on my back and it's not going to happen.
Yeah, the closest thing you got to a tower shield is this body that you have to still manipulate. Oof.
Hey, look, armor doesn't work.
Wait, did you add? Did you
I
add?
did.
Oh, I see what you did. You rolled because you
put
have
it all
6 armor as
together.
well, right?
I do.
Yeah, so you just rolled the full 6 because the armor piercing gets canceled out. I see what you did
Yeah.
there. Okay. That's going to be 3
So what's he
base,
doing?
6 damage. If my math is right.
He's putting it all in the damage.
Let me think about it. Oh, you know what? It would be really cool. I'm gonna take 1 point of damage off and make you drop. Forcing you so instead of going prone because you're on a ladder, he's making you let go of the ladder.
Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And
I'm curious.
I'm
How many hit
falling,
points do you have?
so
Oh my god, you had 9 hit points? Get out of here.
I mean,
it really
this is
hurt.
not a surprise, dude.
No, I know.
It really
I know.
hurt.
Yes.
Let me see what the rules are for falling here. See if there's a generic rule for it.
There probably is. I think it's like
Yep.
one die of damage per so many feet or something like that, but I think with the fact that there's bodies in here and the ladder there, this just disrupts you from being able to do something on your next turn. Like, you need to pass a mobility roll before you can act, and you lose your short or fast action, whatever the fuck it's called.
There is a rule for just free falling into a solid object, but we'll get to it if we need it.
Yeah. Basically,
So-
my intent is just to make it harder for you to do something next round. You've already got 2 kills.
So, like, okay, no, I have thoughts.
Okay.
This all takes place like around, like, this is like concurrent but slightly faster, slightly slower type stuff. So
Okay.
I've begun falling.
Yes. Wescott, you're not entirely sure what's going on unless you've been watching closely. What you do know is that Pike went up the ladder. You heard what may or may not have sounded like a very brief scuffle, something thumping, and then a burst of gunfire. It's your turn, Wescott.
Yeah. So, um,
If you shoot up a ladder well, Omar's probably going to give you a decent chance to shoot free falling Pike.
Yeah. Yeah.
You could, here's a thought for more fucking 80s action movie shenanigans.
Of course. That's definitely where we're going with this right now.
You could look up and yell at Pike to grab that guy on the way down.
To
To give me bonus dice for my plan. Because I want to grab him, succeed in a grapple, and then use him as a cushion to soften the landing when I hit the deck below.
Or just pull him down to the E deck with you.
I mean, you're only free falling 2 stories.
It's not even that. You're literally falling from deck D to deck E. It's
Yeah,
all of about 8
but-
feet, if that
but-
much.
But a Pike-sized object falling that far and landing on you on a solid surface is going to be pretty disabling.
No, it is. It is.
So,
Are you gonna body surf him down? Is that what I'm hearing?
That's what I want to do. I mean, if he was able to shoot up the tube, then he's within arm's reach when I pass
Oh yeah,
him on the way
absolutely,
down.
absolutely.
So you could give me an order to grab him, to give me some extra dice to try to body surf this guy.
I will fucking allow
Um,
it just because it's stupid and funny.
I'm just debating on if she would just try to, put a bullet in this guy instead.
I will say
'Cause
this.
if-
I don't know. I'm sure there's specific rules, but I'm gonna go with my personal favorite house rule. Given this very close quarter situation, if you shoot and miss your intended target, you're gonna have to shoot as though you're shooting at Pike, and hope that you miss Pike.
I
I'm
just
in-
am
I'm in a decent
debating on
amount of
if my
pain.
character is that much of a scary person to rather shoot the guy shooting at Pike.
I also would vote
Mm.
for Pike. Grab that guy.
Well, I could do both. I could do both.
Oh, there you go.
You can't.
About that. So,
The
because
second, the first only works if the second doesn't knock me out. Because I do have second wind, but we don't know what critical I'll get.
do you have any idea how many dice I'm rolling?
I mean, a lot more than you intended when you made that character.
I mean, I still am rolling more than I would if I was rolling. Actually, I'm really close. I'm probably rolling about the same amount for each. I'm still shooting him because I feel like that would be the better response here. While
She
I
is-
think
she
80's
is
rule
merciless.
are cool, I also want to shoot him.
No, by all means. Even that stress roll.
2 successes.
Ooh, no. Oh, you keep it together. Nice. All right, that's
There you
that
go.
looks like 4 damage going into this guy, unless you've got something crazy going on.
No, I just am a little miffed that I can't roll. Can't push that, but it is what it is.
Yeah. All right, 4 damage.
He gets to make his armor against armor piercing.
Oh yeah, god damn it! I don't know why.
Well,
I
I
didn't think about
definitely hit him, so if his armor absorbs it, then it is what it
Yeah,
is. His armor absorbs it.
cancels it. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
that. Do I
well,
cancel it
now I
altogether?
make the yeah.
Oh
only
yeah, I
rolled
did.
2
I did.
successes.
Yeah,
And now I'm gonna roll
Oops.
for Pike to grab that motherfucker because I'm a little mad.
especially now that he
I'm
ate all that
pushing
bullets.
There you go, Pike. You can have 4 dice.
Delicious.
Awesome. All right, Watcher. What's Watcher doing? Nothing, because I want to pull off this crazy stunt.
Well, I mean,
I'm
there's
sorry.
already some,
It's
there's somebody
very
already-
close quarters.
Yeah, there's not enough space, but Watcher is hearing gunfire in the stairwell and shooting up, and He's expecting to have to do more casualty care. So he's going to pull himself right next to the ladder well to the side and have his med kit pulled out and waiting to render
He's
a.
just like, I know what's next. You guys just do what you do.
Yeah.
All right.
He's standing by.
Yep. Lance Corporal Warren, what you got for us?
Uh,
Now and again, you guys are still down on E deck, the deck below all of this craziness.
yeah. I don't think there's enough space for me to get anywhere near that ladder without having a pike fall on me.
Yeah, that sounds dangerous.
Um,
Now, I will say, in a tactical environment such as this, if in lieu of anything better, pull security.
yeah, I guess I can pull
Also-
Overwatch on the thing in
Oh.
case the guy's still alive.
Also spreading the gaggle out so you're less of a frag risk.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, for instance, that's right. Maybe come over here, which would be a separate zone than over here. Or
Okay, but
staying over
I'm
this way as
I'm still
well.
on deck E, right?
Correct. You are.
Okay.
I just have you on this map because I can only have one map at a time.
That makes sense. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna move to this zone here and have an Overwatch on the ladder, wherever the ladder is.
It's
I
over
think it's
here.
right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that in case there's a surviving
in case there's
members,
a breakout, you can put bullets into whoever comes out.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Pike, it's time for the 80s Miami Vice moment. What is it that Sonny and Crockett get into?
I'm going to fucking body surf this dude.
I want to also point out, by the way, that I managed to pull off that reference without fucking it up.
You did. Good job.
Meanwhile, those people are like, Miami, what? Even the
What about Vice
remake, they're
City?
like, what? Don Johnson. I think that was his name. Oh, wow. Are you pushing? Oh, nope.
I
That was
can't.
stress.
I'm just glad I rolled a lot of dice at the get-go.
Yeah. That's 6 successes? Looks like?
Yeah, 6 successes. So I would like to do a grapple in 6 damage.
Well, you grappled him. Are you body surfing him all the way down?
Yeah, I'm going to use him to cushion my landing.
Okay. He does get armor.
Armor does nothing, bro.
Yeah, it does not do anything for him. So if he's not dead by the time he lands, he's dead on arrival on the E deck.
So
I think-
how many meters is this fall?
It's gonna be like 2 meters. I'm thinking 2 to 3 meters because it's only about 10 feet.
Okay, so I need to make a mobility roll.
But you did 6 damage in the grapple, so he's definitely out.
Yeah,
Watch
we don't
that
need to
goes.
roll for him. All right, so I got the 1 success I needed to reduce the damage by 1. Fall is a number of dice equal to meters divided by 2. So I canceled the 1 falling die I would have taken, and thematically, I just squished this body when
Yeah.
I land.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what happens. You are falling, and you grab this guy, and you scrunch his neck at the same time, and manage to get him under your feet just in time for you to make contact with the bottom. And there is definitely a wet scrunch sound. And you just kind of like your knees buckle a little bit, and then you just stand up again. You're like, I got this. There is
Yeah.
still another individual above you.
Yeah. Now I don't have any weapons in my hands,
Okay.
unfortunately. I still have my quick action because I didn't move to the ground. I fell to the ground.
Yeah.
I think I don't have time to pull out a weapon and shoot. So Pike's gonna like shove his way out of other people's way.
Okay.
So somebody with a weapon can get online to shoot up.
Like right, for instance. Who's next?
Yeah. So he's gonna walk past Watcher.
Okay.
Like gore all over his boots and just
Yeah.
be like,
Yeah, I think at one point, just for the comedic effect, you take a step, and because it's a smooth metal polished surface that you're walking on, you have a slight slip.
there's the little slip and he quickly corrects and walks like he didn't, and he's just like,
Yep.
I'm good.
Right, you are up. There is You don't know specifics, but there is at least one other person above you in the elevator well.
Mm-hmm.
What would you like to do, sir?
Hmm.
And you are, when I say sir, I mean you, and right is obviously ma'am. Regardless, and just a reminder, you are on E deck, even though the map says D.
Yeah, so I figure if I go here, then I'm going to look upwards from
Yep.
there, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna Flammenwerfer upwards to
You're gonna
hopefully flamethrower.
What the fuck is that?
It's a flamethrower.
Oh,
Yeah, it works.
Flamethrower.
right.
It
That's a
works
flamethrower.
flammin'.
I thought
It
Warren had.
works flaming.
Yeah, we
It
still
works
have it.
flaming.
Oh my god!
I love that.
Sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. Right.
All right, so I'm just gonna try to like do some cover and hopefully do some damage on Buddy upstairs.
Okay. May I suggest that you
Yes.
now you absolutely do not have to do this.
Okay.
You can stick your head and rifle into the elevator, I keep saying elevator, into the ladder well, overwatch up the ladder well, and then blast this motherfucker the moment he tries to come down and do something.
With my 3 ranged combat and yeah.
Listen, I don't know what your dice is on. It is an option.
I feel like the suppressive nature of fire would be a good deterrent, but I do agree with your tactical decision.
I will
making
also
on
point
that one.
out, for everybody's benefit, there are additional ladder wells that you can attempt to flank.
Yeah.
I got five.
There's other oh yeah, there is.
Yeah.
All right. You know what? I'm gonna stick my head out and go on Overwatch.
Okay, you're gonna overwatch up the ladder well.
Yes.
Okay. He basically sticks his head out. Give me 1 second. I need to address my son. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
I really want to take this guy alive. Because we gotta
Yeah.
ask questions.
Well, we have intel already, but I mean, if we need to take someone alive, then I can.
Well, I'm not stopping you. If you kill him with fire, then there's other blackguard we can take.
No,
I'm not worried about it.
Oh, I don't have my baton rounds. Never mind.
You left them back on the ship because you joined the party.
All right, sorry, I'm back.
Because you used one and I shot the guy anyways.
It looks
Actually,
like
she couldn't carry all of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's too much weight.
All right, right. You are doing Overwatch up the ladder well, yes?
Yes.
Okay. This guy, you see this guy? He pokes his head out down the ladder well, and he looks like he's about ready to drop something.
Oh, okay.
You Overwatch?
You are in Overwatch, so you have every option to shoot him right now. I want to point out, it looks like he's got something in his hand that he's about to drop down the ladder well.
I have an idea then. All right, so I
Okay.
guess I'm going to use my Armat. Hopefully I hit something this time. Let's see here.
No, swapping weapons takes actions. So if you have
that's what that would have been what I was. But that's what I was like aiming out with, anyways, because that's what Omar was telling me to aim out with.
I mean, you can pull Overwatch with whatever weapon you want. I just assumed it would be your rifle and not your flamethrower.
Yeah. Well, no, it's an underbarrel, anyways. But
yeah. Okay.
Guess I'm gonna push.
Yeah, you could definitely push that. Unfortunately, it did not help you, so you have a total of 3 damage on this guy.
Hey, it's a hit.
And I can't do anything else than that, I guess. I can't use any stunts.
He uses his armor-piercing armor roll.
God damn, I keep wanting to apply damage right away. Well, okay, so yeah, you only have the 1 success, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so armor piercing.
Oh.
Yep, I got more successes, so he doesn't take any damage. And he drops a grenade down the hallway, or down the thingy.
Okay.
Isn't the ladder its own zone?
The ladder well, yeah.
Cool. So who is currently in the ladder well?
Me.
Well, yeah.
Other than bodies, because technically we have all of one person leaning in there, right?
Yeah, and I would say this for you, right? A simple mobility test with no modifiers, and you could drop out, smack the door shut, and let the explosion be contained.
Yeah, that's anything that doesn't involve me getting immediately blown up because
Yeah,
I have 3
yeah.
health.
Yeah, that would be a great idea, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So go ahead and just give me a quick mobility roll. There's a little bit of GM hand waving going on right now.
All right. Let's see here. Mobility. I have 1 mobility.
You just need 1 success. And you
Okay.
got 2. So if you so do you want to do this with like a flourish? Do you like take your time?
No, I
Are
just
you
wanna
impressing anybody?
let's see here. Yeah, I just like
I'm gonna light a cigarette and then I will casually walk away and let the door close on its own.
I guess the impressiveness is like I just gonna close it and then lean on it. No, I don't like this.
You're just gonna close it and lean on it like nothing's happening, and all of a sudden just boom right behind the door.
Nice. I like that.
I love it too. It's amazing. It's amazing. Wescott, we're back to you. There is at least 1 active shooter 1 deck above you, actively engaged in trying to kill you guys. What would you like to do?
Grenade's gone off, right?
Yeah, it's
Yep.
already gone off.
Cool. So we now have a tossed salad. I open the door and stick my head in.
Okay.
Can I still see the moron?
No, I'm assuming this is in like the first couple of seconds after he dropped the grenade, so he's probably still ducking, so he also doesn't get blasted by it.
Cool. Is there an open doorway?
Like going up?
I mean, his
Did
doorway
he
probably
leave
still
the
open.
hatch open?
Yeah, it's still open, it looks like.
Cool. To whom it may concern, grenade.
Oh, okay.
Alright, bank shot. Go ahead and give me that, it's gonna be, it's range combat to throw a grenade, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean,
I make it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not rolling against anything with armor, I'm just aiming.
Yep, and then go ahead and give me
I don't have to. It's wait. You are correct.
Yep,
It's the
96.
weirdo 9 thing.
Yep, 96.
Mark it as I have none of them anymore.
Mm-hmm. 1.
1 success.
yep, 1
Yeah.
success on the
And
Mr. Glass.
I don't need to worry about armor piercing, so I get all 6 armors. Yeah. You hear a laugh. He's like, okay, we can toss grenades all fucking day. And he just, that's all the time he has to do anything.
I just look at Pike and tell him, "Go murder him, please, Staff Sergeant."
Are you gonna roll
I'm a
command dice
little
on this?
offended.
Are you gonna? You know what? Fuck it. Please roll command dice because now Pike is gonna have extra dice when he goes to engage this fucker. Not that he needs them.
I mean, okay, there you go, Pike. 3 extra dice because he offended me.
Oh man, this is amazing.
Regain my honor, sir.
Yes, I sent Pike to regain Wescott's honor.
All right. Well, speaking of Pike, Watcher, you're up.
Watcher's just going to be looking at Pike in somewhat disbelief, seeing like the bleeding from some bullet holes and like the bruising from the impacts of the around his neck from being hit with all those rounds, and trying to figure out how Pike isn't laying on the ground for his care. And he's like got his gloved hands and some stuff in them, and he's holding them up like, "I'm here to render care," and Pike is just ignoring it.
Okay. So Watcher is kind of like, I don't know what to do with my hands.
I've decided this is the first time that Watcher has actually been, like, he knows about AWs, but this is the first time he's been in proximity to one.
Yeah, no, that checks out. I imagine maybe some of the Spec Ops type stuff that he's had to do hasn't been quite so, combat oriented specifically. Or involving AWs, so. Unless he's doing anything else, we move on to Warren.
I can't think of anything else for him to do. He's ready to render aid.
Okay. Warren, you're up.
Okay, so I guess I'm just gonna toss a grenade up there myself.
Okay.
So I just
Yeah,
do.
I'm welcome to the To Whom It May Concern party.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right?
Why bring a gun to a grenade fight?
Right. I hope you
Okay,
guys
so I
can
gotta
check out how
roll
many
my
grenades you
stress.
have.
I'm out of those, by the way. That was my last high explosive grenade.
All right. Roll me 96.
Okay, I got 4 left.
Might be able to recoup some grenades from these bodies.
Not a 1.
Maybe.
It's loud. It's flashy. He doesn't need to make an armor roll.
I don't think I need to make an armor roll.
Nope.
What did you say? I was not listening. What did you just say, Kane?
It's loud. It's flashy.
And then something about armor?
And he doesn't have to make an armor roll.
Okay, yeah. That really worked out for me.
Yeah. I mean, at the same time, though, thematically, he's just had 2 grenades go off next to him.
Oh yeah,
That's got to be disorienting.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Definitely. Pike, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
I know that they're suppressing him with grenades at the doorway. I will use my fast action to change zones.
Okay.
Because the ladder well is 1 zone. I
Yep.
will climb the ladder as part of that, and I'm going to reach out, grab him, and I'm going to
Reach
beat him to
out and
death.
touch me.
Oh, you're going up the ladder really quick to grab him? Is that what you're doing?
I'm going up the ladder as my fast action, like area move, like changing zones.
Okay.
And I'm going to kill the man with my bare hands while he's been suppressed at the edge with these grenades going off.
Yeah, he's definitely got some World War I shell shock shit going on at the moment. All right, go ahead.
Not for long.
You have additional, I believe it was 3 extra dice for this attack.
Hey, when I give him extra dice, I expect it to be done with flair, okay?
I can't make an all-out attack because I had to use my fast action to move. Just a real shame.
So that's 9 successes that I have to attempt to. Well, hold on.
Put it all into damage.
So that's 9 damage or some shit?
10 damage.
10 damage? Alright. He is going to first grapple back, I believe is the way to
I'm not grappling, I'm trying to punch him in the face. But he can use his fast action to try to roll against me to do some cancels.
Close combat, right?
Yep.
So that cancels 3.
So I'm down to 6 successes.
And then with those 6,
then he rolls armor.
Yep, roll armor. That takes out 2 more.
So that's
4?
Gets me to 4, so I do 5 damage.
Okay. Amazing.
And I'd like to punch him in the side of the head so hard it almost takes him out outright.
Yeah,
just,
there's definitely that.
Eyes.
There's definitely that moment. Like you could see in his eyes that for a moment there is nothing going on behind them, but only for a moment. He'll be back in.
Yeah.
He'll have some fighting capability in a moment. Now,
can I make a manipulation roll to intimidate him?
Do you have enough actions left?
I don't know if you want to just as just he tries to threateningly say cut it out.
So when you say that, this is what I'm picturing in my head: climb, smash face, knock it off. That's as a parent, right? That's what I'm picturing.
Could I try to make a manipulation roll?
Fuck it, why not? He's gonna get at least wit. No, he makes a manipulation back, right? As a
yeah.
What's the dealie?
Okay, so with my stunt, he does what I want without demanding anything in return.
Yeah, I think because of the stun from the physical damage, and then you just being cut it out.
He's
he's stunned.
I just action hero to 3 best friends and almost punched his head off.
Yeah, he's definitely oh, maybe I should go home and rethink my life's choices. Right is up. What is Right doing?
mostly biding her time. At this point, I'm just going to hold off and see what's going to happen with the USCMC guy.
Give me just a second here.
I'm not just memeing on him. I actually do have like a thought out thing for this dialogue. I memed the whole rest of the fight, but not this part.
You okay, so what I've noticed is that we thread the needle of either really stylized we're kicking ass or we're getting wrecked.
Might be some
Now,
truth to
to
that.
be
There's
fair,
no in between. There's no
you-
like we're doing fine.
you guys charged us out of a single point of entry into a barricaded enemy. There was no way that was going well for anybody.
No, there really wasn't.
No, that's true.
Right, you're up. What are you doing?
I'm holding off.
Okay, you're okay. So you're right here. Are you doing like Overwatch or anything? Or are you just chilling or?
Yeah, I guess I'll do Overwatch just to see like what Pike is doing and go from there.
All right, which way are you overwatching? Are you overwatching down this way?
Up
This way? Or up the ladder?
up the ladder.
Up the ladder. Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
This guy he's just kind of like he's basically surrendering at this point. Like it's not so much that he's surrendering, it's just that he doesn't know what else to do because he is totally fucking dazed and confused. Like so much has happened in the last like 15 seconds. And he is barely hanging on, barely conscious, barely aware of anything. And meanwhile, there's another AW that looks kind of like him, but not really, beating the Jesus out of him. So he's just gonna like not do anything. He's stunned for all intents and purposes.
Do we drop out of initiative?
No,
Okay.
because where's this guy? There he is. Because there are more AWs down on E deck all of a sudden. So
E-deck.
this guy has, I believe, line of sight to Wescott. Is Wescott sitting here on D deck? Or excuse me, E deck?
She is standing outside of the doorway of the ladder.
So where she is on the, would you do me a favor and put what? Actually, if you all could put your people like where they are on the map. I realize again this is the wrong deck, but
I'm gonna drag myself over here out of the way because I'm not on this deck.
well no, you are on D deck.
No.
No,
said
he's
it's
in
on-
the stairwell. He's
Yeah,
in the
but
ladder
we're
well.
on E deck now or on D deck.
Okay, hold on.
You said the bad guys are on Echo.
Correct.
I am on Delta with
Yes.
the guy that I just punched in the head. So
Yes.
I am not on this. I'm not on the map they're on.
Yes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you and him right there. And
Watcher is here.
down by the ladder or close to it.
He's
And then Warren and Wright and Westcott, you guys are roughly where the map shows.
Yeah.
Right is in the stairwell pointing up over watching.
Okay, there we go. All right, in that case, Warren, what's the penalty for medium range? -1 or 2 or something?
-2.
-2.
I just want to state that I have watchful.
Overwatch?
No,
Watchful.
he gets to roll against surprise attack.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would call it surprise attack. It is kind of a sudden thing, but they're not like being super sneaky stealthy because I didn't roll any of that. So they just like all of a sudden this guy shows up and he just starts blasting. Not so much from a sneak attack. He's just there.
Okay.
Does that make
there's
sense?
there's no ambush or anything. You are aware this guy's around the corner. And he's
Yeah,
just shooting
like-
before you can.
Yeah, when you say that you're aware, it's like, oh shit, blam 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 blam, sort of
Okay.
deal. But I am rolling with the -2 because of the range. That is 1 success. So you have armor piercing damage to absorb.
How much?
Well,
You need
roll
1 success.
armor piercing, and then you have to if you get 1 success, you don't take a damage. I rolled like shit.
-5 because I'm not using my shields. How do I do that? I do -5.
If
Thank
you
you.
right click on your armor, you can add that modifier on there if you need to do it manually. There you go. No damage.
You're good.
Yeah, bullets bounce into your armor and bounce right back off. This guy.
Very nice. Very nice.
And then at the same time, this guy shows up on the scene as well and shoots at you, Warren, because you're right there.
Yeah.
And this will not be at range because you are in effectively the same zone.
Okay, so I'd like to make an argument here for Warren.
Go ahead.
So Warren has a tower shield. He
Okay.
didn't use the tower shield bonus against the first guy because he was facing the first guy and not using the shield, which means the shield is on his back.
I can live with
He
that.
get those
Yeah.
dice.
Yeah. And I mean, because not for nothing, that shield's kind of big. So it's not
It
like you
is a
could
big
just
shield.
shove it away. Like, it's going to be kind of in the way. So for this one, go ahead and roll armor piercing, but with all of your armor and shield and whatever else you've got. And that's 3 successes you got to overcome.
Damn.
Yeah, that's it.
2 successes are in.
All right, so
How much
that's
damage?
base damage is. Damn it! You know what? I rolled it wrong, but let me double check because the
Base damage
weapon
on
is
those heavy rifles are damage 3.
Plus the successes.
damage 3, and then
So he's guaranteed to be he's doing 4 or 5 damage to you, depending on what he
Yeah.
wants to do.
So
with
I'm already
6.
down. Yeah.
all right. Well, hold on. So 3 damage, and then he wants to get that shield off of you.
Yeah,
there's a
but
way to do
you're gonna automatically do 4 damage.
I'm sorry.
Right, so the shield's not going to be on you when you wake up. The shield got knocked off of you and you took 4 damage.
Yeah, I know, but I'm automatically taking 4 damage.
Roll crit.
Oh, are you?
Okay.
What about your second win, or does that come after?
Well, he has to roll crit first.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. Crit.
Severed leg,
Oh my god!
and you are dying.
Yeah.
Holy
And
shit!
you are currently unconscious. You have second wind, right?
Yeah.
You're not dead outright, so you are still able to roll second wind.
Roll for stamina, and for every success you roll, you get 1 health point back.
Yep.
If I don't get any successes, that's it.
You're not dead. You're
I know.
dying.
You're bleeding out. Oh my lord! You can push
Yeah.
that. Thank God.
You can push it.
I can and I will.
Oh my fucking god!
There's no point in rolling stress. He's unconscious.
Yeah, there really is.
All right.
So I will look this up for your watcher. What we move on in initiative.
Because you got to roll something to keep him, like to
Yeah.
stabilize him or something, don't you?
Yeah.
And you
Well, the
have.
massive decompression from like not having a leg is pretty traumatic.
Yeah.
Here's the good news, though. In the fluff, they have prosthetics, and
Yep.
guys with prosthetics serve still in the Colonial Marines. So if you survive this mission,
Well-
you'll get a bitchin' robot leg.
Yeah.
All I have to do
It's a
now-
robot leg.
All I have to do now is lose an arm, and I have only 1 of everything. So I lost my left eye in the last.
Did
the
you
last
really
game.
lose an eye?
Yeah, I did.
I forgot all about that.
Yeah, a face mask blew up and took out an eye.
Is that what happened? Oh man, that was. I forgot
Did it?
all about that shit.
Did it destroy your eye, or did it just hurt your eye?
Destroyed it.
Okay.
-1 to medical roll, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you
Okay,
are
so
currently
what
under.
is your-
And you are currently
must-
under fire.
You
as
must
well.
make a death. You have to make a death roll in the time limit, which for dismembered. What number was it?
It gave a limit of 1 shift.
Oh,
55.
Time limit 1 shift. So every 5 to 10 minutes, you have to make a stamina roll versus bleeding to death.
Hold on. That's not a shift. That's a turn. A shift is 8 hours.
No.
Am I crazy? I mean,
It's shifts are shorter time than turns.
can you do me a favor and look that up? I feel like that's wrong. I could be
Yeah.
wrong myself. I'm pretty sure turns are 10 minutes and shifts are like a handful of hours. Because it's analogous to like a shift of work.
A round is 5 to 10 seconds. A turn is 5 to 10 minutes. A shift is 5 to 10 hours.
So theoretically, he's
Mhm.
got like several hours before he dies.
Well, yeah,
Yes,
I think it's
selection.
assuming that you do basic first aid on the
Yeah,
whatever the
like
fuck just went down.
yeah,
Because a
I mean,
tourniquet can keep you alive, but it will kill you.
yes. So like you
Oh, you'll
can
get some.
get like basic medical attention immediately, or he's going to die because that's the femoral artery, and that's a
Mhm.
Okay.
big gusher.
I've got the page open for this when it comes to Watcher's turn.
Okay. All right. So when it's Watcher's turn, okay. Next is this guy. He's going to zip over here and he is going to do a to whom it may concern grenade here. So that is a ranged combat roll. That absolutely misses. So that grenade blows up somewhere out of your guys' way.
Or should it be one zone less?
Does he drop it on his own feet by accident?
No.
Or does he drop it on my feet?
No,
he
it,
didn't.
I'm just going to argue that it goes long.
Okay.
Okay.
I was gonna say,
I'm
we
not
can
trying
roll
to
a face
listen.
hugger.
I want to be clear. I'm not trying to kill Warren. And if it falls short, Warren dies. I don't want
Yeah.
to do that.
Well, Warren takes another critical. That's a separate thing.
Okay, fair, but I'd
He
rather
might
not.
die.
Wescott, we are back to you. What would you like to do?
Okay, I don't understand where the bad guys are. Are they
Here
south or
and
north of
here.
us?
They're both.
Both.
Okay, I had to zoom out to see them.
There's 2 guys south and 1 guy north. Although we're Marines and we're on a ship, so there's 2 guys starboard and 1 guy port.
Yes, that too.
I am.
And I want to point out that I did mention flanking maneuvers a little bit ago.
Yeah, so. Okay, I need a moment to think because I just finished with my work stuff. Oh, thank God that email went through. My email has been acting up all day too, so it's been making my job extra suck. Okay, now that I'm actually done, give me a moment for my brain to remember where the hell am I gonna. I feel like I did something last session to help me with this.
It was
What did I do?
to whom it may concern grenades, but I believe you said you're out of those. And Warren is currently bleeding out.
You know how I know I did something and I know how you added it to my sheet wrong?
Because I added it to your sheet wrong?
Yeah, I'm not supposed to have rapid reload twice. I'm supposed to have rapid fire.
That checks out. Hang on. So, let's see. Wescott. One moment. Wescott needs skills.
Well, it doesn't actually matter for my role because I know what I have to do, but it is an issue.
Which one was I supposed to give you?
Rapid fire.
Rapid fire.
Because I already had rapid reload.
Well, you now have rapid fire.
Cool. I lean out and shoot the one with 1.
The one with 1.
I'm shooting in the direction with 1, which is
north.
north.
Up here. Okay. All right.
So standard action.
Roll stress. Okay. That's what do you?
Pulse rifle's out of ammo.
Oh yeah, you do a mag dump there. What?
Okay.
That's 2 base with 2 successes, so 4 damage, I believe. Or are you doing something else?
Well, you got to roll armor first to see how many 6s there are.
Outstanding.
Okay, so 2 6s.
Cool.
What do you want to do with the extra 6?
Disarm.
Okay. He drops his rifle. And you.
Cool. What action is it to switch to a different gun?
It's a fast action.
Okay. I pull out the heavy pulse rifle.
Are you about to shoot him twice?
I don't have enough actions to do that, my friend.
Ah, okay.
I took my ass back behind my corner.
Okay. And now you have a heavy pulse rifle instead of the standard pulse rifle.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because I told everyone to grab one.
Yes, you did.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I've been encumbered like hell doing
Yeah.
it too.
Yeah.
But
I believe that's it, and that makes it Watcher's turn? Question mark?
Okay. So Watcher, uh, being the try hard that he's going to try to be, is it one zone to get to Warren?
Yes.
Okay. He's going to use a fast action to get to Warren and grab him. And then
Okay.
he's going to use his slow action to move again and try to pull Warren back behind Wescott.
Okay.
So no medical aid yet, but I've taken him out of fire.
All right, Luke, go ahead and drag Warren over there next to Watcher. Yeah, there you go.
cool.
Mhm.
So yeah, this
I
is
mean, he is like 30% lighter, so that's nice.
So I think like for this, for Watcher, right? Like he runs it to the corner and then he sprawls himself out and like low crawls a couple of elbows forward to grab with one hand and uses his other hand on the edge of the wall to leverage to drag him across
Yeah.
the floor under fire.
Yeah. All right. Anything else for
Westcott's
Watcher, or is that
just-
it?
That's both his actions.
Okay. In that case,
Medic is trying to medic medically.
really, yeah. This guy moves, and while none of you can see it, he's doing a thing over there. So
Okay.
now it is Warren's turn, and Warren bleeds profusely.
What do
Yeah.
I do now?
Yeah, I believe you're
Nothing.
unconscious, so it's actually not your turn anymore.
I mean, you
Well, I
can
mean,
like you can moan and say random words, but you can't really do anything helpful.
Firefighter. What's that? Oh God, what's that one movie? Oh my God. Oh
Or
my
just be
God.
like, or you
Orson
could be there,
Welles.
like,
What
you
was
could be
that?
partway in and out of consciousness, just being like, "Hand me my knife. Hand me my knife. Hand me
Yeah,
my
I
knife."
was
Red-
thinking that.
Red Wagon. What was the Red Rider? Red something.
Orson Welles.
Orson
I don't know.
Welles. It's an old movie. Citizen
Rosebud?
Kane. Is that it?
I don't know.
I
Stop.
called that because I said Rosebud.
Rosebud. Yes, that's the word he said as he died.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was the name of his wagon or some shit like that.
Yeah.
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 All right.
I'm sorry.
So now
Yeah.
it's Pike's turn.
Yes, Pike, go ahead. You are up on D deck, with your 1 hit point remaining fellow blackguard that is currently dazed and confused. And you hear gunfire through the ladder wells. Gunfire and grenades. And unless somebody's reported to you,
All right.
that's about all you know of what's going on below.
All right. If I look at him, do I recognize his line?
You talking
Now that
like
we're,
his... Do you
like we're right
recognize his
next to each other.
bloodhouse because he's an elemental?
Basically. Like, do
Yeah,
I
he's
recognize those
He's Bloodhouse.
characteristics?
He's Bloodhouse Osis. I don't know, man. I don't have any of that
Well-
information prepped.
I mean, just yes or no. Do I recognize it? And if I do, just pick a random melee weapon name.
Oh, I don't have a name for him. So, shit.
is he recognized?
No,
Yes or no?
Well, I'm trying to think of a good name because I don't want to go with like Dagger because that just sounds dumb for a last name. Sax.
Oh, he's another sex.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, he's just gonna look at him and say, "I met a sex and I liked her. I don't want to kill you. We don't need to be killing each other, brother.
He just
Give me your weapon and your radio. We talked about this."
okay. Are you gonna make any rolls with that?
I mean, I use that stunt so that he doesn't make any demands. He's cooperative.
Oh, okay. All right, I'll give you this one. He won't surrender his weapon, but he gives you like he takes the earpiece out of his no, he's probably wearing the same freaking headset type deal that you guys are, so he can't just give you like an earpiece. So he just blurts out 672.6, which whatever the dumb number is, you recognize it as the frequency that they're on. It's like their open comms channel.
Yeah.
You mean I already have given Pike that information, by the way, because I hacked their radios last time?
Did you?
So
Yes.
yeah.
I
So
forgot.
okay.
I'm sorry.
So I don't know how this is factoring into this group.
Okay.
I do know, written through some of this, that there are turnable blackguard that are specifically written to be turnable.
Oh yeah,
That's-
because I know
Like spinnable?
well,
No, like,
so like in
we
the
can
final
convince
mission,
them.
giving away a little bit here, there are some blackguard that are getting disenfranchised, and that's about all I'm gonna say in that
So-
regard. So what
so
you
my
were wondering is
question
whether or
is-
not you can flip this guy, or at least get him to stand down and get out of the way.
Right. I want to know if, like, between the intimidation, me trying to spare his life, like try to be like brother, like trying to connect with him as a blackguard, like they're making us kill each other. Can I get him to at least like be neutral in a way that Pike believes?
For
Can I
this,
get him to turn on his team?
Yeah, for this, I want you to make a manipulation, and if you do really well, then maybe he will turn, or otherwise he'll just be neutral, or remain shell shocked, dazed, stunned, whatever words you want to use.
Neutrality, the true opponent of democracy. How did Zach Brannigan say that again?
I don't remember. Go ahead and roll that stress. You keep it together, but it does not seem to be going well for you in this attempt to manipulate. So he's just, I think for the rest of your turn, you're trying to convince him, and you don't really get anywhere or get anything done, and he just continues to give you the deer in the headlight look.
So here's Pike is not he's not a deliberation person. None of the blackguard are.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be really fast for Pike to be like, we don't need to kill each other. We could talk about this, figure out what the fuck is going on. And I think it'll be pretty quick because Pike would be making up his mind on these things really fast. This guy would make up his mind on things really fast.
Except he's had his brain almost jellified by your big fat fists.
He's taken no criticals.
No. I mean, I could argue that maybe he has for fluff reasons.
You can arbitrarily give him whatever you want. That's true.
And I think I'm going to go, just because of how things have played out narratively, he's definitely got the dazed look. Like, he is not the highly trained killer that he was 5 minutes ago. Right now, he's probably suffered some sort of TBI.
Okay.
And considering the kind of hits that Pike can pull off, this should not be much of a surprise.
Okay. Well, he's at
that
least
makes sense.
He's at least surrendered to me, and even if I don't get the feeling that he's turning or anything,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell him, like, do I see a rank on him? Probably not.
Probably not, because these guys are,
I'm gonna tell him, because I told him to give me his radio. He at least like took himself off his net, gave me the frequency, and he refused to give me his weapon. I'm gonna tell him to drop his mag and sling his rifle on his back. And then start going down the ladder.
He pulls the mag out, ejects the round, the chambered round, throws it back in the magazine, pockets the magazine, and then starts, I guess, towards the ladder, even though there's gunfire going on down there.
Wait, he's dazed.
Yeah,
he's a prisoner. He's at least he's completely surrendered with no demand.
Yeah, so I think he's I think he's one of those kinds of people that, when they do like room takedowns and they throw in the flashbangs and throw a lot of chaos and people just automatically respond to shouted commands because they literally don't know what else to do at that moment. I think that's where he's at mentally, except it's going to be a little bit more long term than, surprise takedown of a room.
Right.
God, I hope that
my
one's
turn,
upstairs.
So our turn then is going to be me escorting our prisoner down the ladder well into our fighting position.
Okay, so you guys are moving down to deck E?
Yeah.
Or you will be on the next turn, I imagine, because we've gone through a few actions here.
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, right. I believe you are overwatching the ladder well, I think?
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
You were.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Probably.
So you heard, which means you heard this conversation.
Yeah, you probably,
You heard the sound of the guy like unracking his gun and dropping his magazine and us starting our way down the ladder.
Okay.
So you know Pike is taken prisoner.
Which means you also, because Pike, you start to see Pike coming down the ladder, which means you can theoretically, you don't have to, by any stretch of the imagination, you can in theory start engaging these other fuckers that have you cornered at the moment.
You can get in the fight.
From this angle here, I have at least this way here and this way here. Let me just draw that real quick.
Yeah.
I have this angle basically. I'm just gonna overwatch on this direction here, and hopefully Octavia Wescott, Olivia.
It's Octavia.
Yeah. Why am I like whatever? And then
I'm still
they
here.
can do that direction.
I just
That
turned
seems
the
like it
camera
works.
off for the viewers.
Oh yeah, we've been on Foundry, so. Okay, so you're overwatching towards this area,
Yeah.
and assuming Westcott is overwatching that way. Okay.
Hopefully, yeah.
Alright.
Westcott isn't overwatching at all. She shot, remember?
Well,
And
I'm
Mag
overwatching
jumped
this
and pulled out
way,
a new
and
gun.
hopefully they're
Yeah, that's
watching
right.
the other way. But I
Well,
don't know
that's
what they're gonna be doing.
what he's saying too. Is like he's assuming, or Wright's assuming that she may not be aware of all of that. Okay.
Also, just like narratively, your rifle's pointed in that direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. He's coming down, so we're skipping him, and we're up to here. This guy is going to come down here, so go ahead and make your Overwatch attack.
Okay.
Because he's going to attempt to basically rush you guys. Push that? Question mark?
I should probably.
You might want to. Alright. And then armor piercing. Okay, so that's
sixes.
3 damage, I think? Or no, 2 damage.
Wow, it depends on what he does
1,
with the
2,
sixes.
3, 4. 3 successes, right?
Yeah, so 3. So you could do 5, up to 5 damage, I think. No, hold on. I'm overthinking this or something.
Oh, that's the dude who dropped his weapon.
No.
One of them did.
No.
I
Oh,
was
yeah.
thinking
You're right.
people.
You're right. Shit. Hold
He's
on.
probably rushing us with a knife then.
Yeah, he is. He's got to be, because I
So
totally
you
forgot
can
he
still-
dropped the fucking gun.
You could, if you want to be an absolute dick, you could spend one of those to knock his new weapon out of his hand. So you can knock the knife out of his hand. The second one to knock him prone in front of everybody while he's unarmed and then deal a little damage to him.
That is definitely an option.
And then he's just laying there naked and afraid in front of a pile of guns.
Yeah. Is that what you want to do, or you want to do something different? Because none of his armor is saving him.
All right.
Or you could juice it and see if you could finish him off.
Yeah, I'm just gonna see if I can finish him off in one shot.
All right, somebody help me out with this math. 2 base with a total of
5
3
damage.
successes. How much?
5 damage.
5. Yep, that kills him. He dies.
Nice.
He dies right there, right in front of you
Right did a
guys.
thing.
God.
All right, so that's
Right did a
1.
thing.
And then this guy also is rushing up with his weapon. He gets to right here and blasts whoever's right there, which is Westcott. Jesus H. Christ.
Roll armor.
Yep,
You
roll
with
your armor piercing.
No. That's 3 damage. That's 4 damage.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna take a crit and then I'm gonna second wind.
Yep.
Let's see what your crit is. Busted kidney.
Oh,
It
you
is
got
also
a
fatal.
whole day to get that figured out.
And you can second wind.
Can't run, only crawl. Mobility 2. -2. The hell does run versus crawl mean? Like, am I not walking around anymore?
Yeah.
You
You're not walking
you can
around.
I suppose you could walk. You just
It's-
can't
it's
run.
Specifically saying that you can't use a second action to crawl further.
Okay, so yeah, and then my stamina.
Stamina. Oh God, please push.
Please
Oh,
push.
God.
Please push that. Fucking God.
Holy shit.
Oh
You
man.
don't have to roll panic because you're unconscious.
Is she unconscious from that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
She's in
she's
zero
broken.
points.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can get rid of that.
Yeah.
All right.
That's the whole
Okay.
thing.
So
All right. That
I'll
takes us to our next guy, who is also going to do the same thing. Because he's already, since Westcott is going down at the moment, he is firing on Watcher.
Oh,
I'm
that's
kind of hoping
bad.
that I'm taking advantage of the situation as right, but okay.
Well, because of these guys' angle, right is at a very sharp angle. You know what I mean?
Oh, I see. I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're on the wrong side of the hallway, bro.
Yep.
Don't worry, your turn is next.
Yep.
Yeah.
Trying to think see if there's any arguments I can make for Watcher here.
He just fucking rolls armor.
Yeah, that guy just rolled
Hopefully.
right up on us.
Hmm.
I hope he has more than 3 hit points.
Yep. Me too.
He already got hit with a grenade.
No. Fuck.
And he is a new character. He doesn't have second wind.
Ooh. So he's down. Not dead, but
What did
down
he-
for the moment.
So he's down
He is-
and
Oh,
he's
bleeding
bleeding
gut.
out.
1 point of damage at every. Oh, so every time you try mobility or close combat, you're bleeding more.
So for anybody who was curious, Watcher had 1 hit point left from getting grenaded twice.
Ooh.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I was in the same boat, so
Yeah, you just got both of you got super unlucky on your second wins.
Yeah. All right.
yeah, at least it takes me longer to die.
Wescott is
That's
broken.
unfortunate.
Watcher is broken. Blackguard
Warren.
is up,
Time for Blackguard to run in.
and he does the same thing and comes in and hits right.
Yep.
That's 2 successes. So one of those will be a disarm.
He's got roll armor.
Um.
You gotta roll armor first.
Yep.
He might not get
I
disarmed.
imagine I don't have my shield ready for this.
I mean, you were
You
got off
you
the
were in a
ladder
position
well.
for Overwatch, so and then
probably
the
had
dude
your
came up and
shield
you overwatched him, so theoretically you could have that shield up.
I mean, you were prepared to get into the fight to push this, so you probably have your shield up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
I
good.
will allow it.
I will take that I'll take that argument.
Yeah. Well, you just
Ooh.
negated the damage. Basically, the shield takes a fuck ton of
Oh,
bullets.
I didn't
You
do
didn't roll armor piercing.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead and reroll that for armor piercing.
Oh, fuck.
Okay. Well,
So
I don't get to
4
disarm you, so
damage.
you do take 4 damage. Or, sorry, it's 3
Yeah.
because I only had the 1 success, so it's only 3 damage.
No, it's 3 plus successes. There is 1 available success. So it's
Motherfucker.
4 damage.
All right. All right.
Yeah,
Well, take 4
so
damage.
I only had 3 health left, so she's taking a crit.
Jesus
Does she
Christ.
have
Did I just
second
break
wind?
3 players in one single round? Broken toes?
Does she have second wind?
No.
Okay.
She's also a kind of new player. All right.
So Warren continues to enjoy having no leg, and now we're to Pike.
Pike, it is your turn. You're coming down the ladder. Your team has effectively been dismantled.
Yeah. Okay. Pike. Pike spent the last turn coming down the ladder.
Yeah.
So,
You hear one of these fuckers yelling, surrender.
yeah. Pike is going to look out. Are these guys, are they close enough to count as one zone?
Yes. Yeah.
And
You could,
because
in
it's
theory,
not
drop a
this-
grenade right there and hit all of them if you want to entertain that notion. Unfortunately, it
And-
will impact at least Wescott and Wright.
Pike only has no ranks in medical aid and 1 empathy. He probably thinks they're already dead.
Or at the very least, he knows he can't count on them right now. Because otherwise, they'd be shooting back.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Pike has to risk it.
Risk the biscuit.
Well, and luckily I gave him a grenade, last session.
Oh yeah.
He didn't buy my own grenade.
He has an underbarrel grenade launcher too.
Yeah. So I'm literally being hit by my own grenade. That's glorious.
We didn't have that in the Deadpool.
All right. Pike is going to lean out the ladder well. He's going to point at this guy and hope that like the corner of the wall blocks a lot of the fragmentation. And he's going to shoot him with the grenade launcher.
Okay. So, to be clear, that's only going to damage him, correct?
No.
Or will
He's
it
going to
affect-
take the primary damage, and then him and the other 2 guys are going to take the 9 blast damage.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Can you drag that grenade onto my character sheet so I can roll the grenade properly?
Let's see.
It's still on my sheet. I just have it marked as 0 ammo. Because I threw my last one already.
Yeah, I remember you saying that a minute ago. Let's see. Grenades. All right, Pike, you now have a grenade.
Okay.
3 successes. I imagine you're going to push that for reasons. 5 successes, no stress. Okay.
So first guy is going to take.
Well, I got to roll armor. Not that it's going to help much. Am I right? I do get armor at least, right?
Yeah, first guy gets his armor.
Okay. It's not armor piercing, so I get all of it. It reduces 2 successes.
So 3. So he's going to take 12 damage.
Okay, well,
And
he's.
be liquidated.
In a very real sense, he is liquefied. Okay.
And I will roll the blast.
And then you need the 96 for the other 3, correct?
For the other 2.
Oh, so what about this guy?
He's taking it.
He's taking.
He's taking blast. He's taking blast, and this guy is technically taking it, but he's already dead.
Oh, there's. Yep, no. I misread my own situation. I forgot that this guy was dead as well. Give me one quick second. My son needs something. Yes. Go ahead. So that's 3 successes. All right, so this guy is going to roll armor real quick. He negates one of them.
He takes a point of damage.
And then he rolls. Gets 1. So he takes
2 points of damage.
2 damage. Okay.
And because I didn't leave the ladder well.
Yeah, you're not in the same zone.
Correct.
Because you shot him with that grenade.
Means I haven't used my fast action.
All right, what are you going to do? Scamper back up the ladder?
I pump the grenade launcher.
Okay. Are you shooting again?
I'm going to auto fire these 2 guys with the regular pulse rifle rounds.
Okay. Is this...
He's full autoing.
I'm full auto.
And that applies to the zone? Is that how that works?
No.
Yeah, it hits the 1, and he can choose to overshoot 1 and then hit the second.
Okay. Make your roll, and I'll figure out what the fuck I got to do as we go. I definitely started thinking of full auto from Warhammer 40k. I was like, wait, that's not how that works. The angle isn't right. Did you add additional dice because full auto?
I did. Also, one of those stress dice wasn't supposed to happen, but we're good.
All right. I'm imagining you're going to push that for comedic and dramatic effect.
I need to.
Stress. 8 successes. Holy shit.
That's actually necessary.
Hey, look, my stress
No one
goes
gets
up,
affected.
and no one else's goes up.
Because everybody else is out.
Yeah. So
All
I
right.
have 8 successes.
What's
so,
that? I'm going to
roll
some
armor on guy number 1.
Okay. Armor piercing, he mitigates 1 success. How much damage is he taking? A lot, I think.
How much damage did I do to him with the frag?
This guy in particular was standby. Yeah, 1. He took 1 damage.
Okay. He's going to take 5.
Okay. He is dead, regardless of that little blip of health bar there. So he dies.
Okay. So
the other guy rolls armor.
So the other guy rolls armor. I have 4 successes right now.
He does not mitigate any of them.
He will take 6.
He dies outright as well. And somehow Pike has magically managed to rectify this combat. And has a prisoner.
He fires the grenade and then dumps the magazine and kills 3 blackguard.
You fucking Rambo it is what you do. You fucking Rambo it. Oh my god, that was fucking intense. I'm going to end combat.
So as he drops his mag and he's reloading, he looks back at his prisoner and says, "None of this is fucking necessary. Do you have medical training?"
That's a great question. I'm gonna go with 2 dice being no. I just rolled that just to see how many dice would roll out. It didn't mean anything.
All right. keep your radio off. You can check to see if any of yours lived. I'm going to see if any of mine are alive, and then we'll have a conversation.
As you start rooting through your people and he starts rooting through his, you hear, what is this dude's name?
Those guys.
You hear somebody, are you monitoring his comms channel as well?
Nope.
I don't
Wescott
have-
was, not him.
I mean, you gave me the channel, and I don't have anybody on my own comms to listen to anymore, so I'll flip it over to theirs.
This is Captain Cudgel. The fuck are you doing?
I wait to see if like he's trying to call one of his guys, or if it's obvious to me he's trying to talk to me.
No, I'm talking to you. Obviously, by now you would have my radio. Who am I talking
Yeah.
to?
Pike,
Pike. You're one of mine, aren't you?
I am.
But not one of mine. Because, of course, we have to play with pronouns now.
Yeah, it seems the power that be want us to kill each other instead of survive or anything.
What are you doing here?
I'm actually kind of here to figure that out.
In the background, you hear a couple more gunshots. A small burst. They sound very much like your own weapon systems.
I think Pike laughs because we're you know, we're murder people. He just laughs and says, "I'm not here for them."
Actually, technically you are, but you don't know who he just shot, so...
Yeah,
and to be
he's
clear,
trying-
it wasn't him that shot, it was somebody else.
yeah, he's being humorous with another murder hobo.
Yeah, exactly. Well, if you're not
And
here for them, that means you're here for me.
I'm actually here for the ship, I think.
You think? You're one of mine and you don't know what you're doing here? You should just get the fuck out of here. Take your people and go. I've got a job to do and you're in my way. You know how that ends.
They do. So do your lower deckers.
Expendable. As we all are.
We don't have to be.
Because I just said that line, I really want him to say something about commissars, but I can't. I knew at least one of you would get it. I think all three of you did.
He says, "We don't have to be.
He says,
We're more than these people are, which means our lives are worth more than theirs are. And yet they throw our lives away like they're meaningless."
your life is meaningless to me. I have a mission to complete, and you are in my way. Take your men, get the fuck off my ship.
I try to make a manipulation roll, see if I can, even if it doesn't change this conversation,
Yeah.
see if I can make any headway with this guy.
Sure.
We're openly threatening to kill each other. Would this constitute us having an intimidating conversation with each other?
For the sake of argument, yeah, why not? I want to see where you're going with this. Does it give you
Yeah.
additional dice?
It gives me more dice.
Because he's obviously trying to talk shit to you to get you to leave, while you're attempting to do something similar.
I'm gonna push this.
Okay.
Because these stunts are good. I'm at 1 stress, so whoop-de-doo.
You start
Oh.
twitching. That's okay. That doesn't mean shit other than you have a twitch now.
Yeah, so I have 4 successes. So here's what I would like.
Well, before you do that, let me...
Oh yeah, he's got to roll off.
Yep.
And I have a really high amount of manipulation dice for an AW. So 2.
Wow. All right. I don't know how many successes you had. You had a total
had
of 4.
4.
I just took out one of your all
Yeah.
but one of your stunts, but you do have success overall. So
I want
talk to me
to
about what happens at this point in this dialogue.
So first, I'm going to give you Pike's conversational goal, and then I'm going to tell you what stunt he picks.
Okay.
Since they might not end up meeting at all, but just to give you an idea of like the angle that Pike is going for here.
Okay.
Pike is trying to get this guy to consider or realize that the people that are giving him orders aren't worth following.
Okay.
That like that's where he was leaning into the like, we're more than these people are, and they treat us like we're less, and they're throwing us away to try to be like, your leaders are not good faith leaders. They want you to die. And that's fucking stupid.
Mm-hmm.
So he wants this guy to basically like, even if he doesn't defect, to just like take his team in like, he's trying to get him, in the end, he wants to get this guy to let us have the ship in exchange for no more bloodshed. At best case scenario, he wants this guy to consider that everything is fucked and to turn for the lives of his men and for like a future, like a patriotic future where he's actually serving worthy leaders. So the stunt I'm picking is your opponent is impressed by you and will try to help you in some way. Details are up to the DM.
That's fucking amazing. Because here's half of that stuff. Let me be clear. I did not do this out of disrespect to you. My brain only works on one path at a time. So I had to refer to my notes while you were giving your whole, I want this guy to more or less understand that we're all working for, you know, variously fucked up people. Or to that effect, right? And then you tell me this stunt is that he's going to turn around and help you. He doesn't help you. What you then hear is about 10 seconds of silence. You can hear things in the background, right? You can hear a little bit of shuffling around. You can hear voices. You just can't make out anything specific. He doesn't actually say anything, and then all of a sudden you hear him say, "What the fuck?" And you hear several rounds of gunfire. And then you hear not muted, from in a distance of like a few feet. "What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that?" And a lot of gunfire. And then, hold on.
You said his name was Cudgel?
His name was Cudgel, yes. And then you hear, "This is Spear. Excuse me, this is Spears. We're with you." I don't know what the fuck that was. This is a fucked up mission.
Was it black and insect-like?
No, it was white and looked like some scary fucking nightmare crab.
Okay, I fought those already. They sent me to die against those.
My cat is absolutely losing his shit because my son is out on the porch right now. I don't know if you guys can hear him meowing constantly behind me, but sorry. Go ahead.
The information in my head, in the place that I'm taking the ship, is a path for you and your men to live. Come meet me on... Well, come meet me on D-Deck. I don't know if some of your boys down here are still alive, but if you've got a medic, they need to get down here.
I think what happens is over the course of the next 10 or 15 minutes, a medic does come down, along with a few others, and a guy who has the rank of a master sergeant. And you only see the master sergeant because he left it on his uniform, not on his gear. A medic does come down. Your blackguards down here are dead.
I send them the guy that I kept alive.
Yeah.
I push him back over so he can rejoin his boys.
Spears comes down to join you, and he's the master sergeant.
Yeah.
A medic comes down with him, and within a few seconds, he's like, "Yeah, no, these guys are dead." And then he starts working on your people. And
I give them his guide. I'm like, "Hey, I did my best to take him alive, but your boys fought like we all do."
Yeah, he's I can't think of another weapon name fast enough, but fucking Basher over there's he was a unique individual anyways.
Club the idiot.
Club, there you go.
Cleaver.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. Cleaver. Yep. Spears kind of, I want to say he pulls up a chair, but there is nothing like a chair. So maybe there's like a crate nearby and he just kind of leans on it. And he's like, "I'm going to level with you. We were sent here to capture this ship. And then we're going to go to Crestus. And we're going to ram it into something. Another station."
If you're
off the top of my head, I'm going to say Lamont Station. That may not be the right name, but the name that it is the station that is used by the Department of Defense to do all of their defense-y headquarters sort of thing.
Yeah. So I look over at their medic taking care of my guys,
Oh,
I lower
that's
my
what I was gonna
weapon.
say. Sorry, I'm gonna interject just real fast. Whatever roles this medic or any medic was supposed to do to keep you guys alive, he does it. Hand wave, you guys are alive. You're in a shitty spot, but he keeps you
wanna-
alive.
Do you want to do a roll for the medic for when he wakes them up to see how many hit points each of them are at?
Go ahead and put yourselves at 2 hit points each. Whoever the ones that are knocked, go ahead and come back up to 2.
So, like, Pike isn't taking an aggressive stance anymore because Spears said he's with us.
Yeah.
Or he's with me. So, like, his weapon's still loaded, but he's got it hanging on the sling, and he leans against the wall next to Spears and says, "It's going to take me a little longer to level with you. If your boy set up a perimeter, I'll keep talking. Information will keep you alive." And narratively, while their medic is picking us up, I tell him everything.
So you're gonna tell them about badge. You're gonna tell them about this mission, what you guys were doing.
I'm going to tell them
deep cover or deep void, etc.
I'm going to tell them about deep void and how they're throwing our lives away so they can get their science experiments. They're willing to treason to start a war that will kill people that aren't ready for this war.
Yep.
And that our jobs as AWs was to do the stuff behind the scenes and then be killed off so there's no witnesses.
Yeah.
That all these times that my team were supposed to die, but these normies fought as hard as any at AW. And he talks up that like these Marines, these normies, like
fucking Luke.
And like he makes a point, right? Like they assaulted the defense, like a barricaded position of AWs, fought through it. We just fought 8 AWs at once, and my guys are hardy enough to be alive. And he's not talking shit on the AWs here. He's talking up his normies as these are the Marines that Vaughn is expecting us to betray in the UA.
He tells you, well, before he does it, after this conversation goes for a little while, he calls into his radio and he's like, "Go clean out our drop ships. Space those fuckers." And then he looks to you and he says, "So I imagine you, while you were on the hangar deck, you swept our droppers?"
We found your prisoners. We didn't kill them. We turned off your drop ships, but we didn't have time to rip your hard drives.
Well, you'll find some interesting information on those hard drives when you get around to it. Those individuals were...
Eckhart, stand down. You're gonna have some visitors through the drop bag.
Oh shit! I forgot about her.
Drop ships. They're going to their own drop ships. They're
not going to ours. But that involves them going near.
We have a joint bay. She will see them.
Yeah,
she's set up an armored perimeter. So as soon as I'm waking up and I hear this shit, I'm like, Eckhart, stand down. I crawl my ass off the ground and I just go lean against the wall next to Pike.
So like she says, stand down, and I swap back over to Arnett and I say, LT, there's only Marines here now.
I think there's a moment where she's like, "Oh, you won," and then she's like, "That's a weird way to say that." And she's kind of being a little lippy, but she also knows that like, this is definitely a full-on military operation. She can't be outright lippy like she normally gets.
I'll when we finish the op here, I'll fill you in, man.
Okay. Spears explains to you that the 6 individuals that you found zip-tied on their dropships were quote-unquote infected. What he did not know was that Captain Cudgel was also infected.
Did you put down Captain Cudgel?
If it was that, or, well, let's just say some of the words you were saying were making a bit more sense than they should have been. And I don't think
these things are parasites, and I don't know if they'll still grow in the body after you kill them. So you want to space Captain Cudgel.
Get the captain and space his body too. Can't be. It's the only way to be sure. I could not think of the fucking line.
Yeah. So after Wescott is standing up, she definitely goes over and does the Staff Sergeant stare, and then goes to treat her folks too, because she also will do first aidey things.
When she greets him, he'll reach out with one hand, like sort of out of view because he's not paying attention to her, but he's acknowledging that she said something, and hands her the 2 extra med kits that he received.
She goes and uses them because each med kit gives you a +2 on the roll. So
Yeah,
Mhm.
she also patches people up.
that was oh god, what was he? I already forgot. How's your man? The one I
Oh,
gave back.
Cleaver?
Yeah, it's Cleaver.
He'll be all right.
That's
Listen, he takes his rifle and well, first dumps the magazine, clears the weapon, and then unslings it. And he hands it to you. We're gonna take this ship, and we're gonna go somewhere the fuck out there.
If you give me your hard drives and just finish, help us take the ship. You take your drop ships. If I don't know where you're going, I can't tell anybody where you are, but you'll be alive. In my after option report, if you want me to say you're all dead, I'll say you're all dead.
That might be for best.
Okay.
He
I'll
starts court, so we get a collage over the next few hours.
I take the symbolic handing of the sword with his empty rifle, and I give him the forearm shake.
Yeah, the Predator man shake.
Yeah. Here's my details. If you decide that you want to do something about what they made you do, you can reach out to me.
Oh, I'm doing it right now. I'm taking this ship and I'm not letting Vaughn have it.
I've got to take this ship to SecDef. And with the information you've given me, we've just stopped an attack on our own officers.
So, Staff Sergeant Pike.
Well, you guys converse while I think about how that gets translated for him.
Because I will look at Pike and I'll look at them and I go, do they even have a comtech?
But Pike is very much trying to, however that conversation goes, be like I've already told him what my timeline is, that I need to take this, that I'm also here to take the ship. I talked about him pulling the hard drives and stuff off of his drop ships so that we can take the intel. I'm willing to say that we killed all of his boys so that nobody looks for them. And with what flexibility we have in our timeline, we can use the ship to bring his drop ships closer to somewhere else. So he can, he and his boys can make a run for it and decide what lives they want to have.
All right. So
I'm offering them a comm link to me. So if they decide that they want a piece of the action, a part of the revenge, they can reach Pike if they decide that they want to have revenge against Vaughn. And if they don't, Pike is perfectly content to order his men to say that all of Spear's men are dead, so nobody looks for him.
I think what we get over a few hours in this collage, there's a few things that we pick up.
Everybody else on the ship dies.
Yeah, the UPP are definitely dead.
Oh yeah, they're super dead.
Yeah, the majority of the ship was cleared.
Walking around and just blasting a guy.
While in that, basically you guys showed up roughly an hour before, or excuse me, an hour after they did. So they did their initial breach, pushed through the ship, and by the time you guys landed, we're moments from clearing the bridge and the main engineering. And they had already just taken the secondary engineering when you guys got there. So by the time you guys were getting all fucked up on D deck and E deck and damn near dying, they had just taken the bridge as Pike and Cudgel were having their initial conversation. And then Spears basically revolted, killed Cudgel, killed a facehugger because Cudgel was carrying one, and then basically assumed control of what was left of the Blackguard. He gives you one of the drop ships.
Depending on if our initial conversation they still hadn't taken the bridge or something, and there's just the one firefight left, Pike would have joined them on it.
Yeah, I think there's some clearing that still need to be done on B and A, but C deck is clear, D deck is obviously clear, and then you guys cleared E deck.
Pike because I mean, Pike looks at himself and he looks at his boys and he's like, "You're taking care of mine. I'll help take care of yours," and he'll help finish the clearing.
Yeah. They end up deciding between you and them that you will take obviously your dropship and the Kremlin. They're going to take their 2 dropships. They're going to hard copy, or not hard copy. They're going to copy one of their hard drives over to yours, so that you have all the intelligence that's on their computers. That intelligence details the plan of attack on Lamont, which is, of course, the SecDef headquarters, and what their intentions were. And in one of the things you see in there, by the way, Wescott, as you're digging around this info because you can't resist, is the orders for the Blackguard to commit to this operation signed by General Vaughn herself. Now, in those orders, it simply says capture this ship. It doesn't specify in those orders what the ship is to be used for, but other elements of this intelligence dump indicate what the ship is going to be used for. It also indicates that there were 6 civilians carrying aliens inside them that were going to be dropped and inserted as bioweapons. And there is a small note that Cudgel volunteered to carry one of the aliens. Cudgel is, as they say, a hardcore member of the team.
Yeah, he's
a hardliner. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, so while they're having their couple hours of gun fun, I'm getting these drop ships set up to not fly IFF anymore. Because I doubt these
you're gonna help them go rogue or not rogue, but uncommitted? Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, help them go dark.
Yeah, there you go.
Because I obviously I'm tucking my babies into the drop ship with Eckhart and the crew chief because I don't trust them. But I will do what I'm following Pike's lead and I'm actively helping them, and I'm making the others stay in the drop ship unless Luke, you have a particular thing, because my character would try to keep you guys shoehorned into the dropship and out of harm's way.
Especially Warren, who needs to be stabilized and immobilized so he can get a new leg added to his body.
Yeah, I mean, I have a timeline that I have to be treated. Otherwise, this is going to be really bad.
Well, all three of the 4 people who went down have fatal wounds. Wescott is patched up and limping around.
You guys are all cleared of what's if anything's going to kill you because of those wounds, that has been treated. It's all now the follow-on care that has to be done. What's that?
No,
because tourniqueted.
So he's saying so normally there's to turn off the fatal condition on a critical is a medical aid rule. Watcher has a talent that makes him better at preventing those fatals from being fatal. So your leg has been dressed in a way that it will not kill you.
Correct.
Oh, okay, good.
And that's from the Blackguard medic that went through and basically kept you guys from dying. I just GM hand weighted, so I didn't have to do any actual rolls.
All right, so I don't have to worry about it.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
You still don't have a leg, but you're not going to die from it.
Yep.
Okay.
Same thing with whoever got their kidneys busted and whoever had their little pinky toe smashed. Because I don't remember the criticals.
Yeah, broken toes was Alita Wright.
Yeah, that was funny. I'm not gonna listen. Forever in my mind, it's going to be her pinky toe.
And
okay.
Watcher.
I had to check to make sure I fixed the modifier.
And Watcher with his gut wound that was also fatal.
Yeah.
I still need rapid fire, by the way.
I gave you rapid fire.
I watched him drag it on your sheet on the street.
It's on your character sheet. It may not be on your token.
Oh, give me a moment.
The token, if I'm not mistaken, is instanced from a different time.
It is. Yeah, the tokens are instanced. Which is why I use the actor tab for updating my damage and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Since it's been some time, we've also cleared our stress and panic conditions.
Yeah, I think that's fair that you can at least clear the stress. Not enough time yet for healing, but
I mean, every 5 to 10 minutes of rest gives you a hit point.
Well, in that case, since it's been a couple of hours, especially for the ones that aren't actively engaged in anything, so like Warren and Wright and Watcher, you guys are probably back up to full health by now. And other than the fact that you have, missing body parts.
Pike probably doesn't get any health recovery because he's helping the Blackguard.
He's been, because you and Wescott, unfortunately, you guys have been quite active. You haven't had a chance to actually lay the fuck down for a while.
Yeah.
I like to think that the health in this game is plot armor.
I mean, in a way, it is.
They
I mean, the whole
symbolize it
game
as,
system is
like-
narrative in design. So
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, they wrote up hit points to be like scrapes and bruises and near misses.
yeah,
Yeah, like instead of it hitting your head, it like zooms by and you're like, oh no, and then you
Yep.
kind of lose a plot armor point.
yep.
Yeah.
Basically, similar to
So,
how
yeah.
Fortune works for the Expanse, in some ways.
So
Yeah, I've always kind of thought like D&D is like, hey, you just got slashed across the chest, you lost 2 hit points out of your like 80.
Yeah. Oh, you mean I took
No,
a
you-
paper cut across my
or
chest?
or my ever favorite 1 hit point syndrome. You are
Oh, yeah.
fully armed and operational at 1 hit point when you should be a fucking miserable wreck.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
So-
So ultimately,
so-
what we end up with is
They
you guys
let-
have the dropship. You have the evidence that Badge said you needed to get.
we have my leg.
That evidence, intelligence. There is a leg floating around
Yeah.
somewhere.
We bag your leg.
Nice.
There was something else, and I don't remember, but I think you guys have basically met the mission
Okay,
requirements.
so I just want to like make sure that I understand what's going on in groups of facts.
Okay.
For the Blackguard, they are taking both of their dropships.
Yes,
They have allowed Wescott to clone their drives.
correct.
Wescott has also hacked their computers, so they're flying dark and they have their own new crypto, so they can go dark and go where they want.
Correct.
And
I
all of
give-
our after action reports are going to state that we killed them all.
Correct.
Oh,
And the dropships were never on
You're
the-
giving me several hours, right?
Yeah, like
I have
let's
fake
say like
video
3 to
and
4
shit,
hours. 3 to 4 hours.
and I have given them a lot more information than that you can verbally convey. And yeah, I give them new IFF identifiers.
Now, the only thing in your report that you're gonna have to justify out is what happened to their dropships. Because you
I would be
managed to
able to
clone
pay
the
for
hard
that.
drive that you're gonna turn in as proof of intelligence and whatnot.
I have an easy out for that.
Okay.
They got dropped off and told you will succeed or die. And the dropships left in the ships that dropped them off left them on this ship. They
Okay.
had to come home in this ship or die trying.
And how did you get the hard drive cloning thing?
I took that from their Comtech.
Fair enough. That'll work, I guess. You may have to roll a deception at some point, but you know, whatever.
I'm not
Well,
going to manipulation
manipulation.
for that.
Huh?
My Comtech's going to lie about that.
Who at least will have several more dice available than you.
Yeah.
All right. I think what we get is at some point, a la Star Wars,
and
a la Return of
I
the
gave-
Jedi. Go ahead.
I gave them a way to dead drop me a message
Yes,
if they want
yes.
to get a hold of me.
I think what we get after a
And I specifically did not want one for them. So if I get
Yeah.
compromised on this, I can't
you will
give
never
away their
nobody
position.
else in theory nobody else will know. So I think what we get is a la Return of the Jedi end of Act 1, when the X-Wing and the Millennium Falcon go in 2 different directions. We get the Kremlin turning one way, and we get your guys' dropship going another way. Or no, I said that wrong. 2 dropships going the other way, and then both disappearing into the night of space. It's
So
a
I think
little
some-
early, but I don't have anything more than that prepped.
I've got some roleplay stuff.
Sure, by all means, please. I can
So-
give you like 10 or 15 minutes, and then we'll start doing outro. Experience and
So-
all that.
The others are on the dropship. Wescott's the other one who's squirting around the ship right now.
Yeah, I don't
So-
let the others off of it if I can avoid it, and if any at all.
Yeah. I gesture, turn off my radio. I want to have a private conversation with you on the Kremlin.
I can imagine you guys are up in like the bridge.
Yeah, because I can pilot. And until those Blackguard get off
So
the
can
ship, I don't
Eckhart
want
too, but
Yeah, but I don't want her getting off the drop. I don't want to clear the area is safe for her to leave until
Yeah.
the Blackguard are gone.
Yeah,
Um,
I want the least number of witnesses into this nonsense. I'm keeping the rest of our Marines and Eckhart and the crew chief locked on that dropship.
okay.
The
So,
less people having to lie, the better.
So yeah, he looks at Wescott and just says, "This whole thing is fucking stupid." And he makes like it's not a literal thing because we've got the armor plating that's covering some of the arms and stuff, but he makes an offhanded gesture that's clear that he's slapping his rank as a cover to be like, we're not using rank in this conversation. I can't take my top off. I'm wearing armor.
I'm tired of them thinking they can lead us around by the nose. This isn't going to turn out well. And they're thinking they're going to get a lot of stuff done that isn't going to be beneficial to anybody in the end run. You can't nuke half of your own allies and expect that something to turn out well, even if you don't agree with them.
You know, as much as Lionel is also sort of fucking with us, he at least has the decency to tell me he's fucking with us.
Are you talking about Badge when you say that? Would you
Yeah.
call him Lionel?
Lionel.
Yeah, Joshy boy does like fucking around in the spy kind of way, but at least he's not nuking his own goddamn soldiers.
You know, but we were still here to kill our own.
I mean, he didn't have a choice in that one. Just throwing it out there in his defense that nobody's gonna stand up for him.
Yeah.
Don't let me get in the way of your RP though, please.
Hey, we're complimenting him. Don't stand up for him.
I know.
Hush.
I know. Listen, it wasn't his idea to send you guys out here to kill your own, but it needed to be done, so he did it.
At least, I think, for the first time in the crazy recent history, I actually think I know what it is that we're doing. I can decide if I like it or not.
Yeah, I'm not there's been too much that they're trying to do behind the scenes. At least the gentleman of the badge flavors. We're gonna have to have him make him give us a code name. We can't just keep calling him Alan and Josh and Farnsworth and everything else under the sun.
I think
His
it's fun.
Yeah.
Of course,
He gonna
Pike
be
thinks it's funny.
he's Smithy. At this point, he's gonna be Smithy McBadgeman soon enough.
I think he'd be perfectly content to just be called Badge Man, but I think it's more fun.
Yeah.
Well, in either case, how are we going to settle this with the Marines? Most of you were down for a lot of what I was doing. Good on you for shuffling the rest into the drop ships, so they weren't involved in most of what we were doing after the battle. But they saw enough that we got to deal with it. I trust Warren.
Yeah, I'm especially
100%.
concerned about Watcher.
Warren, 100%. I have no concerns. I think if I asked that man to drink battery acid, he'd do it because he's loyal.
Mm-hmm.
At least let him put some sugar in it first. Never mind, acid's sweet. I got that wrong. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to me.
I share your concerns with Watcher. I'm not ready to space him. I did give Lionel my word I'd bring him back. I don't know about right, though.
I'm wondering if her streak of goody two-shoes is worn off yet. That'll be the determining factor, I think.
Tell you what. This mission, she fucking performed. She didn't give up. And this time, it paid off.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to keep her around. I'd like to think we can trust her, but I don't. I mean, we barely know her.
We'll have to see. I mean, gonna have to get the LT and the crew chief on board too. They saw a little too much, even if we didn't let them off the dropship the entire time.
I can handle the LT and the crew chief.
Divide
Warren's
and
not an
conquer?
issue. Yeah. You talk to Wright and Watcher. At least get a feel for Watcher and let me know if I have to do anything drastic. I'll have that on my hands, not you and yours. You've done enough.
If nothing else, we can ask him for some meds that'll make him forget the last 24 hours. I'm sure there's something like that around here somewhere. We have an entire med bay over there.
I mean, that medic bag is basically wizardry shit to me. I'll go talk
There's
to
a lot of meds with some side effects of a whole shit ton of forgetfulness. So we have to go shuffling for something we can dope him up if nothing else. He did get his shit rocked, so we can just say he is high off his ass after I patched him up, if nothing else.
Go talk to Wright and Watcher. I'll talk to the flight crew.
Before I go talk to Rant and Watcher, I stop by the actual full med bay and go looking for some drugs that are really good at fucking people's memories up for the last reason. Because there are some things that have that side effect.
Yeah.
They're pretty nasty. sedatives
there's some
and
pretty
painkillers typically.
Yep,
I
sedatives
go
and
shuffling for
analgesics.
those in case I have to dose them and
Yeah.
forgetting the last.
You walk out of
rest
there
the
with
mission.
like some morphine and some other sedatives and knockers.
Some stuff that's a lot stronger than morphine.
But there's some that if you mix them in the right combination, they'll do exactly what you want them to do.
I particularly find some that'll make them high as a kite and unreliable witnesses too.
Yeah,
Wescott,
of course.
when you talk to Wright, tell her that I was impressed.
Will do.
All right,
Fist
before you converse with the GM, go ahead and converse with the players.
Okay, so I'm going to secretly go stash and make a couple of cocktails for you ain't fucking remembering this shit cocktails that'll leave them both forgetful and high as fuck. And I'm going to, and are still semi-therapeutic in the painkiller department, so I can have an excuse for dude lost his fucking leg and that one over there had his guts cut open. I also prepare a second dose for the make them slightly loopy, so we can say we drug them up as part of our cover if they're on board.
So which one do you want to talk to first?
You probably
Cool.
can both if you
So,
want.
Probably want to do them separately.
Yeah, actually,
separately.
Yeah.
So I go in and I look at Wright and say, "Hey, Wright, come on. Gonna have you set up real quick."
Okay. I just want GM clarification on this.
Yeah.
Wright wasn't actually aware that we were going against Vaughn at all, right?
She was in the briefing.
I think
she was in the briefing, but like
we did a tell-all during the briefing.
Mission, I don't think I specified that this mission was specifically against Vaughn. It was more of we don't know what's going on. Go capture the ship because we know there's a Blackguard team hitting it.
When we ended
it's a Blackguard team. Yeah.
So when we ended up on the unmarked factory clean ship, we were all put in the briefing room and we told Badgeman what we knew. So you were exposed to all the stuff that we knew, and Badgeman told us what he
I had the file. The folder.
Yeah. And then Pike specifically, in case of factors for your secret thing going on, Pike specifically read you in on everything by giving you a folder so you could read and digest in your own time the crazy shit that came up in the briefing, including the AW program, the Blackguard.
And so far across the board, until today, Vaughn has been considered probably a big bad, but based on what Spears and the intelligence has provided, Vaughn is the big bad. There's no 100%. Doubt at this point. Because she signed the order to capture this ship, and there's a second piece of intelligence that says this ship is going to be used in a collision attack on Lamont Station, which is the Secretary of Defense headquarters.
Yes, and for the sake of this, Wright doesn't actually know any of this.
That information she may not, because she's been unconscious or out of it otherwise. But shortly she's about to find out, I think.
Yeah. Okay. So I limp over and probably have a crutch for my pinky toe.
Yeah, she is the least fucked up out of all of us, really. So
she got shot in the crotch and the toe or something. It's such a weird.
Pike didn't take any criticals.
No.
He's doing the best.
Pike didn't take any criticals. All right. Well, now guess what?
Okay, so
Pike's definitely gonna take criticals next week.
I took a lot of damage. I just had a fuckload of hit points.
He just has he has more than twice as many hit points as I have. So right. I'm gonna need you to make a decision here.
What am I deciding?
This spy shit that they sent us on is a whole lot of fucked up soup. Now I have a question for you. You gonna stay with us, or do you want to go back to being a normal Marine?
Honestly, I don't think I can become a normal Marine again, as I'll probably be black bagged as soon as I'm off the ship. My odds are with you guys.
Cool. Vaughn sent the Blackguard here to hang them out to dry by crashing this ship into SecDef's space station.
Checks mental notes.
Sorry.
Actually, that kind of tracks.
That is
I hand you the not forgetful but still drug cocktail.
I think I'd like that. She doesn't actually say that, but like I think her character would be like, yeah,
Yeah.
I need whatever the hell you've got.
It's literally like a shot of some nice morphine shit.
It's like
This
it's
is
like
the
Napoli
non
laced with morphine and then like
yeah.
some other shit in there just to make you a little extra loopy, but not terribly loopy.
Yeah, I think she needs like
Cool.
benzodiazepines after all this.
Listen, it's
let
what
me
you would
put it
get if
this
you took
way.
weed and sleeping pills and managed to stay awake.
I've already scrubbed the systems. What you need to do is just say you went down, and when you woke up, Pike had taken care of everything. You got me? That right there, some very lovely napper leaf mixed with some morphine. That'll help with the cover. We need that in your system.
Yeah,
I'll give you a fist bump. Oh, and I hand you a second one. That one's for Warren. That poor motherfucker, man. I don't even need to ask him.
You know, I didn't
That
like
poor
him at first,
motherfucker.
but
That should be made into a T-shirt with Warren's face on it.
We need art for
uh,
Warren, just like battered,
Yeah,
bruised, and
we're about
bleeding.
to once
And then
the fly of the ship is gonna be uncomfortable for
yeah,
him.
so
So we just want him to be comfortable until we
we
get him back
we
to
need to
full med
get
lab.
we need to get a
so
T-shirt
what
with
do I do
Warren's
now?
face on it, and underneath is the caption that is just the copy paste from the panic result table of everything's cool.
Perfect. That's a new meme right there. Everything's cool.
Uh,
It still hasn't freaked out about anything
Yeah,
like in a while.
Yeah,
it
he
just
really has.
the caption underneath while he's like, it's just like him with his missing leg and like the stab wounds and he's all bloodied, and underneath just says keeping it together. You managed to keep your nerves in check, barely.
Yeah, so I tell
So
you,
let you
we
guys do
have a
the
little
talking.
bit more to get this sorted out, but trust me when I tell you, knowing the big picture is gonna make it harder to lie with a straight face. If we do get a chance, I'll let you know. But there's only so much I can tell you and still make it reasonable for you. And I
I
am sorry
don't
about
think I
that.
need to know.
I pat your shoulder before we head back to the dropship.
Crutching it.
Yeah. So I pull out some random other medical supplies. I kneel next to Warren and go, hey, I stopped by their big mega bay, looted a whole bunch of stuff.
Oh,
I
I was gonna like, because I have to pass Warren to get up to the cockpit, I was gonna do Warren on the way up to the cockpit.
Okay, so I would have handed you the bag of medical supplies then that I looted, and then I double checked to make sure you set the bag down by him, and then I'll go grab Watcher because this is happening at the same time. Hey, Watcher, I need a word, please.
Yeah, I thought you might want one, Sergeant. And he like grunts as he picks himself up and he's holding his like gut bandages. I'm doing this here or
Feel
somewhere
that
else.
mood. Let's go
Here,
speak in private.
okay.
We just go to the end of the drop bay and go sit on a couple crates. Figure he would like some privacy for this one.
You know, the dramatically and plot appropriate crates that are always there right when you need them and never any other time.
Yes.
They don't even have anything in them. They're just there.
Well, he had his guts torn open. I had one of my kidneys blown up. So we both, our midsections both are fucked up.
Yeah.
But like gingerly and slowly sit down so we don't put too much pressure on it right away.
Yeah.
I figured a conversation might be coming.
We have two options here. I pull out drug cocktail that is all kinds of fucked up memory wipey painkiller shit. This one will help you forget the last 24 hours, and we will just go like you got taken down, and we tried to patch you up, and Pike saved the day, and you get to go back to being where the fuck you were before. This one is if you want me to info dump on all the fucked up shit that led us to this point, and I wave around just the Napperleaf painkiller one. Which one do you want today?
It's a real awkward position for me to be in.
So I'm giving you this option. We promise to bring you back.
And I fucking appreciate it. We got fucked up. How did we even... So I watched you go down. I watched like everyone was going down and then I lost consciousness. I thought we lost that fight. What the fuck happened?
Spy shit. You don't want to know if you want to be able to answer the questions that are going to be coming towards us.
You mind if I
So
ask a couple of questions so I can make up my mind?
I'm just giving you that warning ahead of time. The more I tell you, the harder it is going to be to lie.
I know. What are your intentions for me when this is over?
Well,
Obviously, you guys desperately needed a fucking medic. I don't know how
if
you
you
guys
were
made it
willing
this
to
long
stay
after your
with
last one
us,
died.
yeah, yeah. There isn't a story behind how that last one died. Maybe I'll cover that first. So,
I mean, I've
you
read the
probably were
report.
read it into our previous files at least somewhat.
I'm gonna use the restroom really quick. I'll be.
Hmm.
I mean, I've read some reports. I know the staff sergeant killed him.
Do you know why?
I I know why, but I don't understand why because it's just fucking weird. But I know what happened.
Yeah. So you kind of realize that having a whatever the fuck that thing is that has mind control powers being on a space station isn't really the normal way life's supposed to go. Well, the people around here had about another 7 of them in waiting, plugged into people's bodies, waiting to hatch into more of those nightmares. And some of the powers that be has decided that fragging her own friends with biological mind control horrors is the way to go.
Kind of had some idea about a lot of that. I'm missing a lot of specifics, but I had broad strokes.
We've decided we'd rather go with the people not trying to blow up a friendly space station.
Well, it's good to
And in
know
that
that you.
case, we happen to be falling on Badgeman. Problem is, Badgeman still has to report to people. We can't tell him the whole truth about everything either. Not if we want to let some folks get a chance to go live their own fucking lives around here.
Well, I don't know how this affects your decision or not, but I've spent more time with you call him Badge Man. I
Well,
think
Benny, oh boy, over there doesn't ever tell us his name. I mean,
it's true.
I'm going to assume that Watcher doesn't actually know his name either, just for the shits and grins of it. It doesn't
Watcher,
like for the narrative hilariousness. It doesn't make sense that Watcher would know his name.
Watcher probably has a consistent name that he calls him, and that's
Yeah.
on like the emails he uses and all of that.
Yep.
But he suspects it's probably not his real name, and it doesn't really matter to him.
Yeah.
mhm.
He's like, "Oh, call him Badge Man." Well, I think you find that funny, very nondescript, in a sarcastic way. He does have a sense of humor,
Mhm.
and I don't know if how this might affect things for you. I've known him for a while now. Um, my time in the intelligence community has taught me that the intelligence community is more flexible than people give it credit for. There's a level of pragmatism that I think a lot of people don't understand, and it was weird for me at first.
Mhm. Yeah. So what this boils down to is we don't feel the need to kill all of the fellow AW here. They've decided they would rather go about their own lives rather than continue down the self-destructive path of fragging our own fellow Marines. But to let them walk out the door requires covering for them. That's where this comes in. And I hold up the white memory shit. So I wanted
I
to
see.
offer you the chance.
I see. So you don't want to go back and report that you took enemies off the table and let them go. You want to take an extra step and lie to people so that nobody looks for them.
Yep.
You know, this is
And
the kind of stuff intelligence does, right?
why do you think we're talking to you, man? We're just some fucking rifle toting fronts around here.
Look, right now, I work for you, so I'm just being straight up with you.
I'm still a little mad they hacked my dropship, though. Haven't given that one up. Don't think I will. It hurts my pride.
I mean,
But in any case,
we didn't know if we could trust you yet.
hmm
So you need to know if I'm going to tell your story or the truth.
Yeah. And this is the best option we could come up with. We're not going to kill people if we don't have to. UPP aside, anyways. Well, those people deserved it.
Sure.
I'm referring to people in previous missions, by the way, not these guys.
Theoretically, none of the UPP deserve this shit either. Just throwing that out there.
They're UPP. They
Hey,
don't believe in our way
hey,
of life.
Pike rubbed off on me, Mister. I will hang these fuckers from the goddamn trees.
Yes,
Yeah, right.
So-
I'm just stating that if you listen to the story and the narrative that Vaughn is the one instigating all this shit, that really that means that for the most part, 90% of the UPP you've encountered and tried to kill didn't need to die in the end of things.
Well, I
Because of
mean,
Vaughn.
Watcher, I will tell Watcher pick some of the information we picked up too.
Yeah.
It's just we're not willing to sell out people who don't feel the need to fight for a traitor like that.
Look, straight up. I know it's not a choice you're presenting me, and I'm not saying that I'm not trying to push a choice that clearly is being. I work for you. You set the choices right now. But I really do think you could just tell Badgeman about this, and he would help make sure that everything is covered up and all the loose ends are done up. I mean, you took enemies off the board, dead or alive, they're off the board.
Hmm.
And he has the power to make sure that nobody digs into your shit.
Yeah. But we also should do our due diligence and not make the job harder for him. We do go that route. Any case, I do like your idea. Take it to Pike. But I hand him the straight up nap relief with a little bit of morphine in it. And I tell him what's in it. Limping around with a cut up gut sucks ass.
I think Watcher knows exactly what this concoction can do.
Yeah.
Well, no, I handed him just the nap relief with a little morphine one.
Okay.
And I keep and then I hand him, like, unless you really want to forget the last couple days, don't use this. And then I hand him that one too.
This one has a lot more morphine in it.
And a lot of other stuff mixed in. And I was
Nice.
nice to at least scribble some of the stuff on there because they're clearly all in like Cyrillic. These fuckers aren't in English.
Yeah.
So
he looks you dead in the eye and says, I like you, I'm not gonna lie to you. Right now, I work for you.
good.
Eventually I won't. Figure out what you want to do in that time. For now, I am with you. And as long as you keep me on this team, I'm still with you.
I pat him on the shoulder.
Not so
Well,
bad
I
there,
think that
guy. You're not
covers it
so
for
bad,
now.
Watcher. Might have to keep you around.
Hey, I took a bullet for the last medic. I don't mind taking one for this one too.
And he shoots himself up on painkillers, and he's just gonna lay down on the deck out here.
Okay, so we'd have to flip over to Pike because I would still need to talk to Pike after he's done with his conversation.
Yeah.
No,
So Pike and Warren, I
so-
believe.
So Pike and Wescott walked up to the dropship together. She grabbed a right, and I talked to Warren before I went further into the dropship. So
Fair,
I'm
fair.
coming up on Warren with a bag of goodies.
A bag of goodies.
No, Warren's
That
the
I
tobacco-
scribbled over the labels on, so they're in English.
So Warren's the tobacco guy, right?
Warren's tobacco and yeah.
So Pike comes into the dropship where you're presumably laying down all dressed up and stuck to the deck. Like half your armor stripped off, but your clothes cut off.
And a
he
whole
takes a
leg
knee.
cut off.
Pike just takes a knee next to you and says, hot fucking damn, boy.
Yeah, I wish I could take a knee myself.
Hey, you know they're going to give you a kick-ass metal one.
I'm betting.
I've seen people do some crazy shit with those prosthetics. They're actually pretty good. I mean, I know it's not the meat and it's not going to be the same, but the metal's pretty cool.
Whatever keeps me pumping.
Keep you in the fight. Take it that's what you want.
Yeah, too far to quit now.
Right? Consider the paperwork done. My boot will go up whatever ass is necessary to get you the best model I can get you to get you back in this fight.
Listen,
So
when you get your new leg, don't worry about the part that it says "Word of Blake Dominus Mane" on it. Okay? No, what is it? Mane Domini, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. And so he takes off his assault pack next to you and he opens up a patch and he grabs out his buddy support kit and he's even got scrolled on to the side of it, Vice support kit. He opens up the top, he pulls out 2 tins of dip, and he reaches into another pouch and pulls out like a crumpled down empty water bottle and he pulls it out and hands all that to you.
stepping
Aw.
up here.
And he says, he waits for you to take them and he says, I've worked with a few normies. I mean, you already know you're not the first group I've worked with. But out of all the normies I've worked with, you're the one whose heart is the closest to an AW brother.
Aw, that means
And
so much.
And he just squeezes your shoulder and gets up and says, well, as soon as you get that medal, I expect you to stop being a pussy.
He clutches his like newfound goodie bag and he's like, yes, thank God.
Yeah, the little baggie there. There's one labeled memory and the other one's labeled pain. If you want to just feel good, take the pain. If you want to forget about the treason that we just committed, take the memory one.
No, I got your back.
He's like,
I know you
you
do.
want to forget about the treason that we just did? Just take the
Don't want to
the
forget
treason,
that.
as if it was just another day of the week.
No, he doesn't want to forget that, but his next skill or whatever is going to be like conducive to this, so that's gonna be nice.
So he keeps his back turned towards you because he's stepping away. And when you say, no, I've got your back, and he says, out of everyone here, I know you do. And he walks towards the cockpit.
All right, our second to final conversation of the night. Eckhart is up on the flight deck. It looks like she's getting ready to patch some flight controls from this ship to the Kremlin's bridge, or some other technical bullshit that, you know, a pilot would be doing.
Is the crew chief up here?
He's around here somewhere. I think she actually says that. She's like, yeah, he's back there somewhere, fiddling with something.
Yeah, there's probably some cables in the other bay. You should probably check and see if any of those might help.
She just stops and looks over her shoulder. He's like, you want him? You just close the door. We could do it one-on-one right here.
He raises an eyebrow, just reach back.
That's not what I meant. Don't look at me like that. We got shit to do.
Shit. You can't blame me, can you?
No. God, this is gonna hurt me when I say this as a GM. No, you're a man. It doesn't hurt me. God, that fucking hurt.
I said I'd give you an explanation. I suppose it's time I give it to you.
Okay.
Yeah, especially since Wescott has had them locked up into the ship for a couple hours now.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, yeah. I think she's like, yeah, you want to tell me why your little bulldogs got me locked in here like I'm a stray or something?
Oh, please tell me I can tell you call her a bulldog behind her back.
I really don't give a shit what you tell her. I'm
Oh,
still a
she's-
lieutenant.
Oh,
And she says that she's laughing, but you can tell there's a little steel edge in her voice. She's like, I am still a lieutenant.
Oh, she's gonna like that. Anyways, so here's the skinny. I can tell you everything that just happened, and it'll be really fucking awkward. Or you can trust that I made the best decisions that I could, and know that you can't answer any questions somebody might ask you afterwards.
So she looks at you when you say it, and she's like, you're gonna let the rest of the Blackguard go, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay. I got you.
We rigged it up so they can go live their lives where they aren't fucking tools anymore.
I figured that when I saw the data transfer from their ship to ours.
Yeah.
Referring to the cloning of the hard drive. And that and she actually says something along the lines of like, I figured it was that when you were cloning the hard drive instead of ripping it out of their ship.
Yeah, I mean, you're not dumb, but I wanted to give you the choice so you could say that I didn't tell you anything if you wanted.
I can keep my mouth shut. Unless they use drugs for their back briefs. I can keep my mouth shut when I need to.
Now, if we bring back all the objectives plus some more, I don't think they're going to have a whole lot of angst about asking extra questions about how I murdered all of those guys.
No, just make sure you space all the bodies.
Oh, I plan to. I mean, some of them were infected with parasites, so we couldn't take any chances. They all had to go overboard.
Yes, parasites. Murder crabs?
Yeah. That's
lovely. And I think
and
that's what she's going to start calling them too, by the way.
And he holds his hands up and he says, and that part isn't a fucking lie. They got sent with those things to use as weapons on the ship.
That's disgusting. And she actually looks a little like somewhere between physically ill and very much look concerned.
But I don't mean anything other than exactly what I say. But
oh, I know. Your brain doesn't have that much bandwidth. She smirks
hey,
when she says that.
I've been reading a dictionary, you know.
Yes, I remember. I forget what the word was. She remembers though. And she throws that word right back at, what was it, like magnanimous or something, I think?
Yeah, I think it was magnanimous.
And she uses it in the proper context when she throws it at you.
I'm just, I know it wasn't the smart choice.
No, but don't even stress about it. Listen, I heard those comms. Some of them, anyway.
As much as part of me is still human, those are my people.
You haven't caught on yet, have you? We're all human. Some of you are just bigger and dumber and faster and slower. Or, you know what I mean. Some of you were meant to be more than just people, though. Some of you were meant to be weapons. You are not just a weapon. You've demonstrated that today.
Yeah.
Some of those other guys, who we probably won't ever see again, now have the choice to do the same thing for themselves. They wouldn't have had that had it not been for you. Had they kept following Cudgel, they would have been dead weapons instead of smart weapons. And then she smirks and she's like, ooh, smart weapons. You know, like missiles and shit.
Look, I wouldn't have been able to get that opportunity if I didn't have people in my life that inspired me to fight the programming. All right. So
I really want her to be a smartass, but I don't think that fits the story that much right now. she just got to hold her hand up and she's like, listen, let's get the fuck out of here first. And then you can thank me for being a wonderful influencer on your life, okay? We still have work to do.
Just thank you.
You're welcome. I suppose you want a hug now.
I mean, I haven't turned into a bitch yet.
She's like, all right. She's just like, all right, fine. And turns right back around, goes back to working on the computer.
I mean, I could think of something else, but I don't know how much time you have.
We don't have that kind of time right now. Well, I mean, you do, but I don't.
Fair enough. Do you want any help?
No, go get Sanchez and brief him whatever you're gonna brief him.
Am I gonna have any resistance with him, or is he with you?
You know what? Let me handle Sanchez. In fact, I think he will understand it if it comes from me better than if it came from you. But I'll get him on board.
All right. I'll just let him know that you were asking for him.
Done. Yeah, other than that, some of those cables need to run from the nose of this ship to, and then she starts going into some technical bullshit that after about 4 seconds, you're like, Wescott, I need your help.
Oh, no. I think instead of that, he just looks at her plainly and says, all I got is cables need to go from point A to B.
Go get Wescott.
Point A to... Okay. you know her kidney got fucking rocked. She's not walking a lot.
I'm allowing her extra time.
I can't wait to tell her you called her a bulldog. And he'll go for a kiss and then open the door and leave.
Yeah, she gives you kind of a... And when I say half-ass kiss, it's more because like she's obviously busy and trying to get shit done and not anything else.
So yeah, he'll walk out and probably... And I think now is a natural time to go to Wescott and Warren, and then I'll like walk into that conversation.
Okay, did Wescott and Warren already take place? No,
Well,
no.
I
There was...
would have done well after Watchers had this discussion. I'd be checking on Warren while I'm
Warren,
waiting for
okay.
Pike to be done talking.
Okay.
So Wescott and Warren, let's see. Wescott would drop next to Warren. So I see Pike already brought the bag of goodies around.
Oh yeah.
He's got this like fat fucking lip.
That's the thing to say. He's like,
Okay.
oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
I lay out the meds and I shuffle the rest of them farther away so he doesn't accidentally overdose himself on morphine, and I leave one additional stick next to him and go, you should give that one try to give it an hour. And then I pull out I take off my watch, I set it to an hour timer, and then I put it on him and tell him, take the next shot when it starts beeping, okay? We'll
Got
have
it.
the medic hopefully around to keep an eye on things later. I just sit down next to you and wait. So how you feeling about this, man?
I mean, pretty messed up. But behind the whole thing, I guess. And then he kind of just drifts off a little bit into like his stupor of like nap relief, but um
Okay, so what horrible equivalent of sea shanty bullshit can Westcott think of to keep him well distracted while the morphine is kicking in?
Oh,
You know what?
if you want to be
She just
super
starts singing
cringy,
lullabies when you are clearly half out of it, just to keep you distracted
Oh.
until you're out.
I was gonna say if you want to be super cringy, you could just like super slow-mo Jody's at him because he can't march.
I mean, it's in cadence.
Yeah.
Do that. Westcott's not like that. She would sing lullabies because she has younger siblings, and she would have done that a lot. Yeah, that's probably the thing she does know offhand. She just like plop down on the floor next to you, keeping you company while you're like the morphine settling in, because it's not instant in most cases. I mean, the military equivalent is a lot faster, but
it's a good medication.
yeah.
Yeah. So what do we do
She'd keep him
now?
distracted because some people see shit on morphine too.
Yeah.
He asks you a question.
Yeah, so what are we doing now? I talked to Pike. Now I guess you want to have a conversation. What's the plan?
Let some people go live their lives as we deal with the bullshit that comes. There's really not much else to it, unfortunately.
All right.
I'm just happy we are all still here. It's better than we can say for them.
Yeah, we barely survived that. Those Blackguard are no joke.
Yeah.
I guess
Wonder
when
how we
you're
managed to find ourselves a Pike in all of this, you know?
yeah, like when you have a Blackguard on your team, you kind of take it for granted. And granted, as he will say, that it's just like easy to go through a mission, and then he inspires everyone around him to do great stuff. And then when you face off 20 of them, it's a whole deal.
Yeah, avalanches don't care for friendly fire, do they?
No.
Too many rocks. She giggles. They all were a whole bunch of jar-headed blockheads, though. Can you
Yeah.
imagine how like God, they probably can't work a cell phone between the dozen of them, man.
I mean, I pretty much came back to halfway through all this whole thing, and then I was missing a leg. I don't even remember what happened to my leg.
Yeah, let's just say Pike spaghetti blendered the chunk that was specifically responsible for that, and Sweet talked the rest of them.
That's amazing.
Hey, spaghetti blender, sweet talk.
It was AW's we talk.
Yeah.
I mean, given the option, you gotta go with Pike.
Yeah. So I'm literally just killing time until Pike comes out because I need to have a second conversation with Pike.
Pike comes out of the cockpit, closes the door behind him.
Just his
Oh,
belt line.
yeah, he looks at Wescott and says, "Oh, by the way, sorry for blowing you up. I mean, you weren't awake to know, but I figure you ought to know. Also, did you know
Did you
that
at least use the grenade that I gave you?
Yeah,
Good. Did you use it on me, no less?
I mean, I used it near you.
Close enough. I held
Also,
a hand out for you to help pull me to my feet because after sitting down, it's hard to get back up.
yeah, I pull you up and say, "Did you know that the LT calls you a bulldog behind your back? My
Am I gonna
bulldog."
have to come up with some sweet nickname for her too? Or do you have that covered?
He,
I just
he laughs and says, "If you want to use one, I don't think you should use the ones I got."
Oh,
Oh, come on, man. I just like shoulder pat you as I limp towards the end of the dropship. I'm sure she's got work for me, but we have one more thing to address. Watcher has an idea that I kind of liked as we step out.
You kind of like it because it's good, or do you kind of like it because you want me to come laugh at it with you?
He wants us to pull Badge Man in. You know, Mr.
Really?
Henry John Cock over there. He says he can cover better. And I think that's probably true. But that depends on where you want to be at the end of this mission. Because it's not like we have a convenient exit drop ship out of here the same way that our recent friends did. So
What's your feel on Watcher?
he's good until he's not on our team. So I'd say we either keep him or drug him. Either or, but I think he would be very useful to have. And he seems pretty flexible, much more so than a standard Marine would be. Something about the intelligence community spices.
Yeah. So while we're walking to where Watcher's laying on the deck, I'll just turn and cup my hands. Chief, LT was asking for you.
I think you get Sanchez, like, you see him working, like, he's turning a wrench on the underside of one of the Blackguard dropships, and he's like,
You mean the ones that have already left?
no, they haven't left yet. Remember, you guys all leave together. Return of the Jedi,
Mhm.
end of Act 1. So,
hmm
he's
I'm
over
not
there
sure I
working
would
on...
have let him go talk to them yet.
No, he's not
He's
talking.
probably-
He's all he's doing is basically what he's doing, and you would probably know. He's putting things back together that you guys needed to disassemble in order to get to the hard drives. He's doing one last little check for them, and then he's like, "Yeah, that'll hold. You're good." And then he wanders back over, and then he hears Pike saying that the LT wants him, and he's like, "Yep, got it." And he just heads back into the back of your guys' dropship.
So we
I
walk
take
over
He's
it
to
very
Watcher.
much
Watcher.
an
Handling that
extra
one.
on the scene at the moment.
So we walk over to Watcher, and Rodance gets to have a conversation with two leagues.
So Watcher's over there on the morphine at the moment, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
So-
he's still like on his back, fully starfished.
So Pike, do we want to keep him for the long run? I think he would be useful, and he seems to have the temperament.
You know, I like you too much to hit you, but it is Staff Sergeant.
Staff Sergeant. Yeah. Hey. The medic said I got like 10 days. We can go back to combatives later, okay?
Oh, you're gonna fix that kidney before I punch it back out of you.
Mm.
So
She does
Watcher,
the dramatic flare of, oh, on my side. And then she goes back to walking.
so Watcher, I hear you have something interesting for me. Yes. I think you guys might be overthinking this a little bit with respect, Staff Sergeant. He looks down and says, overthinking it. You might be the first person that's ever accused me of that.
I mean, I would
overthinking.
argue
I
with
don't
him.
even
I
think
might
in the
be
first place, said
overthinking
Pike.
for you.
He's like, I guess I mean no disrespect. I'm sorry if I crossed the line there. No, I'm fine. Just get the fuck up if you're gonna talk to me. And he scrambles to his feet. So
I help watch her up because that sucks ass, and there's no way he's scrambling to his feet on his own.
yeah, he gladly takes your help. He's not too proud for that at all. And he looks at the two of you and says, I just think maybe you might be overthinking things and making them harder for yourself. I guess you guys call him Badge Man. He's straight about what he can be straight about. But you got to understand, you're looking to be flexible legally. That's kind of what intelligence does. And he's interested in everybody here succeeding. But you can rely on Sergeant here to help you with your cover up. And I'm sure she's good and been doing it for a while. But the stakes just went up. And he does that for a living. There's a really short chain of command there. There's not a lot of people to lie to. And when people ask questions, he has the authority to tell them to stop asking questions in the first place. He can help make this easier, take this burden off you guys. And Pike looks at him and he looks to Wescott and says, what do you think, Sergeant?
I think his idea is the way to go if we're planning on sticking with Badgeman. I mean, I just gesture over to the blackguard. Unless we plan to go walk out the door like they do, it's probably best to find someone to follow.
Speaking of the blackguard, you notice that Lieutenant Spears is standing off at a more than normal distance for one who's like, I want to talk to you, but I definitely don't want to interfere with what you got going on.
It's not like we can cover all of our pieces and butts on our own, Staff Sergeant.
Yeah, this is a little bigger than some of the other shit we've done. This is more than 5 minutes of lost op video. Look, I think Badgeman's been a straight shooter with me. He tells me what he's not going to tell me, and he's gone the extra step for all of us, at least twice now. You two work out the details. If it's sat to you, then it's got my approval, Wescott.
Yeah, Staff Sergeant.
And I'll like he rubs his temples like this is smart
We
person.
can see the steam.
Answer questions. And he goes
So-
he goes to see Spears. He doesn't want to have any more of this high level bullshit conversation.
Yeah, so Wescott just plops down. At this point, she might just give up and just sit on the fucking floor and just look at Watcher and go. He seems to be willing. He likes Badgeman good enough to stick with him, so I like your idea.
Okay. You want to take it to him? I can take it to him. I mean, he's going to debrief me alone without you guys. That's basically a guarantee.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take it to him too. You have your own perspective on stuff. Don't want to interfere with that one. You know probably more what he's looking for than I do.
Yeah, I mean, to a point. I've worked with him a lot longer than you've known him. But yeah,
I mean, I've been doing in-op cover-ups for a while now, so hopefully I can clean as much of the ends up as we can.
You might accidentally learn a little more of the talk on your own than you might think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you're okay with it, I'll pitch it to him. I'll pitch it to him without giving him any details. If he wants any of those details, I'll tell him he has to talk to you or he needs to pull me from the team.
Mm-hmm. Thank
So
you,
you can-
Watcher.
Just wish this wasn't so goddamn complicated. It would have been a lot easier if we killed them all. Like, I get it, but I get it, but you can't tell me I'm wrong. Right?
There's a lot of ways we can say that. I mean, that type of thinking is what led Vaughn down the path of let's just blow up an entire space station. Let's not worry about the other half, the official part of the government.
I think this is a different road to hell than that one, but I see your point.
It doesn't matter if we walk the road to hell or take the damn bus, as long as we can live with ourselves afterwards. And this is how we live with ourselves.
Yeah, good luck with that. You keep doing this for long enough, you'll have to make compromises.
Hey, I still sleep at night. So what do you got to do?
Site profile says you sometimes struggle with that.
It's not so much the struggling with, it's not so much the sleep, it's the waking up part.
Uh, well,
Something
why do you
about a
think I
die
follow
roll.
a Pike like that?
I think
Somebody
at
has
that
to.
I think at that point, like, Watcher is obviously very tired, and he
Mhm.
gives off that air of like, if you have more questions, I'll answer them, but otherwise, I would like to go into a coma.
Mhm. I leverage my ass back up and go, you want me to tuck you into the nice bunk?
Would you, Sergeant?
We limp both of our asses back onto the dropship, and I tuck him into the lower bunk.
Well, you're probably gonna want to tuck him into his hypersleep chamber because you guys are about to do the whole hypersleep thing.
Okay,
shortly.
I tuck him into the hypersleep chamber. Okay.
All right.
He'll help you get Warren in, and stuff like that. So I go to talk to Spears.
Yeah, that was just me trying to segue into getting out of here for the night. Because Spears is like, we're all set. It looks like we're about ready to split our separate ways here. So
I go for the forearm shake again.
yeah, Predator Man shakes it up. He even claps you on the shoulder at the same time.
Look,
And then he's like, "Can I listen? I know I gave you my rifle a little while ago. Can I get it back? Because in case I need to shoot somebody."
oh yeah, like he swings from behind him. He can hear the clink of like multiple rifles hitting as he swings out his rifle, and it's already loaded, and he hands it to him.
Yeah.
He says,
bet.
I mean, I was gonna give it to you anyways.
Okay, good.
I mean, I get the symbolism and all, but some people just fucking need it.
Yeah. Well, you never know where we're gonna end up, and well, there's that whole Pacific. I can't think of it, but there's like a section of the galaxy, not a galaxy, but the human space that they can go and be like, basically go be mercs, and you get the feeling that maybe he's thinking about that.
Yeah. I mean, he just like he looks him in the eye and says, like, whatever you and yours choose, good luck, brother.
Same. And
if you need
put
me,
one
you
between
can
that
find
bitch's eyes for me, would you?
That's my plan. It's sure as fuck my plan. If you need anything from me, you can find me, and if anybody wants to find you through me, they can.
It's the way it should be. And he just turns and walks off.
Yeah, I'll walk back to the drop ship, and we'll get ready for our transits and segue out of the session.
Yep. All right. Amazing session, and we'll talk about feedback stuff here in a moment. But let's start with experience. Yes, you participated, and yes, everybody risked or sacrificed something for your personal agenda. I will now take arguments for why you didn't.
I sure as fuck did.
Yes.
Because everybody was literally fighting for their lives.
They
whatever your agenda is, you can't do it if you're dead.
They asked me to surrender, and if I'm a prisoner of General Vaughn after betraying her, there's no future with that card. That was the last stand I was going to take.
Hey. Everybody's alive.
Yeah.
I kill. Yeah.
Listen.
I'm good with agenda.
We'll talk about that in a minute. But holy shit. So yeah, you guys get 2 experience for that. I think it's easy to say that everybody's risked their life for their buddy. I will take arguments against. Anybody?
Oh, well, we did. Pike is my buddy.
Yeah. Did anybody challenge or stand up to your rivals? You cannot use the Blackguard as your rivals.
Look.
I don't have a rival.
Yeah.
I have a
you don't get
rival
one for
right
that.
now, but I think I get it because I was indeed lippy with Pike. To be honest, I haven't done anything particularly other than ignore his title for a short period of time. So
yeah. Panic rolls. If you made a panic roll tonight, I don't remember specifically who has and hasn't. I know Pike did at least once or twice.
I think pretty much everybody did, except I don't think Watcher did.
Warren didn't because
I don't think Warren
he died
did either.
before.
Oh yeah.
I think Wright might have.
No.
I mag dumped, so I definitely did.
Yeah, I know Wescott did.
I mean, she had a really cool grenade flex.
Yeah.
She just shut the door across her. I was like, no thanks.
that was pretty cool.
That was really cool.
Yes, you overcame a dangerous event using violence or non-violent.
Mostly non-violent for Warren somehow.
You overcame. You're still alive, brother. You're not entirely whole, but you are alive. Yes, significant discovery because you now know that Vaughn and Deep Void are indeed behind all of the bullshit for the last several months, and that
And
they have
plan
been,
to kill the brass.
yeah, and they have been, and the plan to assassinate SecDef and everybody else, and instigate a fucking war with the UPP, all for the reasons of power and glory and whatever. Pike absolutely performing an extraordinary action, somewhere between using somebody to body surf them into the ground and fucking single round eliminating 4 enemies.
I killed
You killed 4 people in a single round.
6 blackguard and took 1 prisoner by myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I
Essentially.
convinced the rest to stop fighting.
Yeah.
That was just one action though. That's
And that
only
was
got the one
15
experience.
that was 15 other additional blackguard that basically said, "Yeah, we're done with this bullshit."
I don't think I could have killed 50 guys. I probably could have killed another. I think I could have killed another 5 or 6 of them, but not 15.
Yeah. Well, remember the enemy force was 24. You didn't necessarily know all that up front at the beginning, but 24 blackguard were arrayed against you.
We killed a lot of them.
Yeah, you did. Pike killed a lot of them. And everybody's getting their paychecks, so that is indeed. Well, hold on. Did anybody else perform any extraordinary actions? It was Wright that did the grenade up the thing and closing the door or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Wright
Those are
gets one.
That was really cool style points for
Yeah,
sure.
Wright gets one for that. Anybody else?
Okay.
Watcher just tried to do his job and got blown up for it.
But I will say that his attempt to low crawl, hand drag somebody out was kind of visually cool the way I envisioned it. So he can have one for that. Wescott, you did.
I mean, I shot a guy even though Pike was in the way.
Yeah, no, you did shoot up into the hallway.
I shot up into the ladder.
That's what I meant. Yeah,
with Pike falling in my face.
Yeah,
and I still did it.
And well, I think
and then I told Pike to go
your
kick ass,
extraordinary
and then he did
action.
it.
Your extraordinary action in there was not shooting Pike.
My extraordinary action was not shooting Pike and then using Pike to go kill someone for me.
I want to make the argument that her like exemplary action or whatever was giving Pike orders twice and getting away with it.
That definitely is it.
I think I now know why he's my rival now. It's because I have to order him around occasionally, and I have to do it in such a way he doesn't flip out about it.
He doesn't realize that you have to lead him by showing that you're not really leading him. Yeah. And then the last one, did you earn any money? Yes, you did. And my son is texting me, so give me a second. Let me see what he's got going for me.
Everybody got paid for fucking sure.
Mm-hmm.
Pike has no way to rival anybody. He likes everybody on the team right now.
Hey,
you could rival yourself.
You
can't. It would be hard to play.
I kind of think Watcher might be my new rival in the sense that intelligence community bro is a friendly rivalry rather than a hostile one.
Yeah.
He's openly declared to you that his loyalty is with who he's assigned to.
Yeah, that's kind of against my thing.
Yeah.
Watcher is my new rival because he is only loyal temporarily, and that offends me.
All right, let's do some outro and feedback comments, and then we got to get out of here because we are quite a bit over time. But Rodance, feedback, outro, comments. What do you got?
Yeah, I think next session is gonna be hilarious. You better take notes, Omar, because you're gonna have a nightmare of dealing with Badge Man and us.
I'm just gonna look at it like this: I am Badge Man. I don't know what happened on this mission. Back brief me.
Oh, we're gonna have fun with this. Gotta send Watcher in to feel him out, see how it goes.
I
like how we're almost died again.
This one was bad though. Like you guys were literally this close to being captured by the Blackguard and probably killed.
They fought like Pike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
which I thought that was great because, like, fighting UPP or whatever, they're going to try to set up their positions and suppress and maneuver. But the Blackguard fought like Pike.
Well,
If I can get in your face and kill you now, the fight's over quick. Hyper
Hey, I'm a little
aggressive.
sad that I didn't get a chance to punch one of them. Okay,
so
I've spent
last
so
round-
many points in close combat to not get to punch one.
So that last round, when everybody started going down, I decided, I was like, these are Blackguard. They're just going to rush the objective. The objective is this hallway right here. And they did. And they did. And so they just communicated to each other, fuck it, we're rushing and killing them. And it worked. And part of the reason why it worked is you guys didn't have a chance to respond because 3 of those fuckers were all 3 in a row at the end of the turn. And because you couldn't break that, I was like, this is going to fucking hurt, but this is exactly what I think would happen in this scenario with these 4 Blackguard.
And the fact that like Pike.
Yeah. And they had, so like you guys ran into that team that Pike took out the first 2. The other 2 came down the ladder, and then they called and they were like, hey, we're getting aggressed from the rear. And that was when that second team of 4 showed up from the 2 different ladders. And that was when you guys went down. And I will say this, I'm really glad that Pike managed to not only kill that team, but pull off that manipulation roll. Because had either of those or both of them not worked, TPK.
This isn't the first time we've had that, though.
I don't remember specifically how the Queen fight went. Not the Queen fight, but that mission.
The Queen fight was me command rolling Pike out of his mind control.
Yeah.
And that's not even the second time. I also nukes in the sky problem because we almost died there too.
Oh yes, yeah.
So this is at least the 3rd time this has happened.
Yeah. So
this is
what
just
I'm hearing
the first
is I
time
have
it's
to get
happened with direct combat.
So what I'm hearing is I have to get even more creative with killing you fuckers. Got it.
I'm just saying, like, so for the nukes, we had to make 1 skill roll.
Yeah.
Or things were going to get bad. And on the space station, we had to make 2 rolls in a row in a particular order. And if either of them failed, Pike was killing everyone and being a permanent slave to the Queen.
Yeah.
So that came down to 2 rolls we had to make. And for this, it came down to Pike had to win that fight in 1 round.
Yeah. Now, the one thing that was very beneficial in this instance versus the other ones is the fact that Pike is literally built to fight in all sorts of ways. Whereas in the other situations, Pike doesn't necessarily have those inborn skills or whatever.
Right. It was different for each person, right? Like Wescott had to handle 2 of those high intensity situations, and I had to handle this one.
Yeah.
But like if I had done just not enough damage to either of those guys, I only had 3 health.
Yeah.
And we saw how those fucking
it's 3 base damage
went.
for those. It's 3 base damage for those heavy pulse rifles.
Yeah, and I'd already been shot twice. There's no way I was taking a 3rd.
Yeah.
No.
So that was almost miraculous the way that went.
We saw how those second win rolls were going.
Yeah. So, now I was already kind of, admittedly,
I was a little mad about that.
I was a little.
Like, I would have stood up and kept shooting them.
Yeah. No. That.
We could have died.
I couldn't have done anything about that either.
I have to admit, I'm sad. I was really looking forward to Warren getting his leg blown off, landing on the deck, shaking himself awake, rolling over, and fucking murdering a guy for it.
That was really bad. Because that was the stamina roll with no successes, push into another stamina roll with no successes, and if I'm not mistaken, insult to injury, roll a panic roll too.
Roll 2 panic rolls.
Yeah.
I did the exact same thing on mine, so we did it twice in a row. It sucked.
Yeah.
Luke, what sort of feedback, outro comments you got, if any?
I would like to add Hothead to my Warren person. However, I need to roll wits.
Right, so Warren might be getting Hothead. Is that what I'm hearing?
Warren might be getting Hothead.
Nobody has Hothead.
No. All right.
Not anymore.
So on success, you get this talent. Go ahead and make your roll.
It's without. It's fine.
No stress.
No.
Yeah.
Can you push this roll?
No.
No.
Apparently, I can.
Well,
I mean, it lists it there because it's a skill roll, but by rules you can't push this roll.
yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't have made it. It was
You better clear that stress. Just clear it out, whatever it is.
okay.
Luke, you got anything else? Any
Um,
feedback, outro comments?
no, I
I
mean
have
this
a,
was probably the fightiest fight that we fight, and
I actually have a question for you,
For me or
Okay.
Luke?
for Luke.
Okay.
So, you were looking to pick up Hothead. Has this fight changed anything for Warren? Like, why was he rolling for Hothead?
He's rolling for Hothead because part of his personality is that he doesn't want to be told anymore what to do. He wants to select who can give him orders and things like that. So someone pulling rank on him or pulling like like a command roll or a manipulation, he can counter that with like a positive like result of like a manipulation. So he can still listen to your orders and get the command bonus. He can still listen to Wescott's orders and get the command bonus, but like someone else being like, no, you have to tell me the truth or whatever. He was just gonna be like, nah, fuck you.
No, I'm not loyal to you.
And
That is
without,
very Warren.
and I'm not
Yeah,
trying
it
to
is.
sneak, and I'm not trying to sneak any particulars, but has this mission changed anything for Wright?
Yes. In positive ways, surprisingly. Because the whole thing the whole thing has just been like a shit show, but like learning about everything was like, okay, well I have to like come to terms to like what had happened. And then realizing once you're on the floor on the ground whatever with these people that it's like this is a lot more of a real situation than just like some sort of backstabby thingy.
Well, I think
I
what
also
we have
wonder. I
is
also wonder how confusing it's got to be for Wright that we went on that last mission and I shot an unconscious man to kill him. But here, I took the step of taking a prisoner and I got half of the Blackguard to stand down and defect instead of fighting.
Right. And it really just depends on if the files included so much information about the Xenos or anything like
It,
that.
it
I
did.
think
It did.
I think it had
Okay.
all of that stuff. I think
So
part of this too is so like everything that Wright was planning or you were considering for Wright and how she reacts to all of this stuff, let's say a week or two ago, right? And then Pike is like, I'm going to lore dump you and I'm going to be open and upfront and honest with you. Here's everything. Blah. And then you hit this mission. And now
that just
Wright
like
gets to see kind of like from the very tip of the spear what these kinds of situations look like. Maybe that can change some of her original uh, perceptions of things. So now that maybe she's not so much leaning in one direction that she might have been otherwise. You know what I mean? Now I'm not saying you have to do anything like that, but it's definitely makes a lot of sense. Or it's just like, well, that was a bunch of drivel, and now I got to see that drivel firsthand. So this is still drivel. Now it's just drivel squared. So no, I'm not
so
going to do all of that.
I just think
so
it's a
the
fun. I just think it's a fun change that she was going to be his replacement rival, but she kept trying on the
Oh
last
man,
mission, even though
yeah.
she super fucked everything up. And he was like, "Look, you kept trying, and if you want to keep trying," and she said yes, and he took her at her word for it and was like, "Cool, if you want to be part of this team, folder, you are now part of this team." And he's super open about it. He was super like, "I'm going to give you all the shit that you probably didn't want to know, but you want to be here, you need to know." And then acting so differently on this mission and now knowing about like the Xenos as Parasite and all of that and trying to fit all that into like does which I wouldn't expect her to think Pike is anything other than like the psychopath that he is, but maybe it'd be
less of
interesting to
one
see
now.
maybe it'd be interesting to see the context for him making these different choices.
Yeah, now you
Yeah,
see
and
why he is
that's
the way he is, to at least to some degree, right?
and
He
why
gave her the
Warren
And
follows him
did
so much and why
and
Wescott's believes in him
and
so much and yeah.
and he gave her a back brief on the AWs, so she knows where
Mm,
he came from.
Yeah.
well, and did Westcott just hitting her the two choices help any at all?
yeah. Because there was a lot more like openness to like what the resolution had to be. So it's like what do you want out of this situation? And it was like, okay, so
Having the
not just like
power
a
of
cog in a
choice.
machine. Yeah, and
Yeah, the
that's
power of
a really
choice.
powerful thing when it comes to like dissuading or even just convincing someone that like they have a choice in the matter. So that's very important for them. Yeah.
All right. Any other final thoughts? And then we got to get out of here. It's wow. It's quite a bit later than intended, but this
I'm
was a big
happy.
session. So
I'm happy
It
that
was.
at the end of last session, when I was about to sneak up and grab the first guy, I said, I'm going to go full Pike. And I did. I went full fucking Pike and murdered a fuckload of dudes.
you did, and managed to be the hero of the episode. Definitely. Because I'm not lying to you. Like, when I started dropping people left and right, I was like, oh, shit. And if Pike,
Dropping two
when
around.
Pike came in next on his turn, I was like, if Pike goes down, what the fuck am I going to do? Like, the Blackguard are going to capture them. They're probably going to at least kill most of them and then use the rest of them for intel. And then that's it. We're going to move straight into the next campaign.
Yeah, we
And,
have
and
one.
everything else from this moment is going to be heard in CNN or something, you know?
I think this is
Mhm.
like Pike has done some silly shit, like punching the android to death, or like
Yeah.
Sparta kicking the big xenomorph, fist fighting a queen.
Yep.
But I think realistically, this is the full time. This is the first time that you guys have seen Pike at peak potential. He just fucking killed. As is what he was born to do. His stats make him do it. He fucking did it. And it was glorious to make those rolls and be like, Pike has finally been able to come out. It just fucking Pike.
He literally bear hugged a man to death, for fuck's sake. And not just any man, another AW.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Watcher is freaked the fuck out. Like
Oh,
he
that's
got
going to
the
be interesting to see how Watcher progresses from this point.
yeah, because like Pike or Watcher he got like some back briefs, so he has some like broad strokes
He's got
about
some
things.
decent ideas of what's been going on and whatnot, so he's not completely out of the loop.
Right. There's some of the details he didn't know, and he hadn't been around an AW before. And like the stuff that he saw, you guys dropped, and it was just immediate medical case, immediate medical case. Holy shit, there's so much medical nap relief, immediate medical case. And then he's like crawling through fire to get Warren back, and then they get their position charged, and there's nothing he can do about it. He just gets fucking gunned down. Like he is so like I have to imagine like this is so much more intense than what he did before as a medic, before he worked for Intel. And then he spent that time in Intel, so he's a little rusty. And this unit's fucking insane.
It is.
He watched his sergeant shoot at his staff sergeant, just try to hit somebody between them. Like everybody broke so much doctrine so many times.
And
It's
yet
all
somehow
insane.
there was no friendly fire.
Yeah, I mean it's insane. So he's trying to process like, can I handle being here? Like I don't know. So he's gonna have some stuff during the next session where he's gonna talk to people and try to figure out like what the fuck does he actually want to try to do and talk to people about it. Because this mission was fucking insane.
Yeah. Yes. All right. Let's get out of here. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, please consider joining our community via the the subscribe, the follows, the discords, etc. Hello, Bob. Thanks for stopping in. Oh, that totally derailed me. I am so horrible at keeping my thoughts straight. Let's see. We're trying to get out of here. Thanks for stopping by. If you want to join the Discord, live in the stream chat, exclamation Discord will give you the server invite link, or in the video description and below, it will have the link as well. That said, I'm rambling, so let's just wrap this and get out of here before I say something incredibly damning. Stay safe out there, my friends. This world is a crazy dark place, so make sure you're doing what you got to do to take care of you and yours. And as for me and mine, we're out of here. We'll see you next time. Have a good one, my friends. And I remember to give everybody a chance to say goodbye before I hang up.